if you're hitting me with a "that's crazy" while I'm venting to you, we're done. There's no future conversations.
What? That's crazy. If you really want to commit to a long-term thing, don't date someone who's like pre-med, pre-dental, Well, first of all, most people.
One time my mom came home from work and she dropped her bag and then she opened the drawer, took out all the ramen, and just tossed it in the trash.
All the what?
All the
ramen.
All like packs of ramen.
It gives you cancer.
And I was like, Mom, why did you throw away all the ramen? She's like, did you see it on Facebook? It says it gives you cancer. How much emotion and how much should a guy open up in a relationship with a girl?
Transparency.
Full.
Transparency.
Full.
Yes.
I disagree with you. I think that's ridiculous.
Me too.
I think if you completely open up to a girl, she will lose respect for you, and she will not trust in you. In a relationship, wait. You know what? It's my turn to talk.
And welcome back to the Stay Humble podcast. This is episode 8. I'm joined with my co-host
David Guirgus. Thank you guys for coming. We're in a completely different spot this week. I know it's been changing a lot over the past couple weeks, but we're just trying to find our ground. We're trying to find a good spot for you guys. And now we're in a random person's house. So, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, today we have Nemo, George.
My real name is Michael, but I think we'll label it as Nemo. So
he wants to go by Nemo. I don't know why.
My students Google everything. I don't want them to find this one.
Fair enough. And then we have Maryan Marcos today.
Hello.
And then for our final guest, we have German Santa.
Yeah.
He has actually a lot of good input. And so we're excited to have him on. He's going to be giving us a lot of advice about old German traditions in Christmas. So we're excited about that. Anyway, first question I have for you guys. What are you currently doing for work?
Want to start?
Sure. I am currently in school to get my master's in marriage and family therapy. So a good background in relations with people and communication, the brain, attachment styles, all that fun stuff.
Okay.
Cool. I am a high school teacher. I like teaching math, and I work with both special needs students and gen ed students.
Okay, cool. So I want to ask you guys, do you have a question? I want to ask you guys, like, what's the most difficult part of your job? And I know that you are still in school currently, but maybe you should touch up on, like, maybe, like, the toughest experiences you've had in school. And yeah, I'd just love to hear it.
You can go first since you
Okay.
are working right now with
So,
your students.
I think the toughest part of the job, in terms of like, logically, it'd be the papers. The amount of papers that special ed teachers go through is insane. I have started this year with like a little bit of ink in my printer. I actually have no ink anymore. I print out so much. I think it's just paperwork, and legalities. I think that's logically the toughest part. In terms of emotionally, it's like students that don't have like a good home life, like you feel bad for them, and like you can't really do much. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of used to like being able to solve things. Like if I'm just like not happy about something, I just solve it. But like you can't solve like another person's problems.
Yeah, that's hard. Do you ever get like parents that are angry at you for like no reason? Like
Oh my goodness, yeah.
You like did everything you can with the kid,
Yeah.
and then like the parents came in still pissed off, still
Yeah.
blaming you.
In 2022, I told the lady 2023, we'd be meeting in February of 2024. February of 2024 came around and she yelled at me and cursed at me because the meeting was too late for her. We should have met earlier because her kids' grades were not good.
So she got mad at you just because the meeting was too late?
Even though I told her. It's happening at the same time.
You know?
Yeah. So yeah, we have like unreasonable parents. I had a parent who once called the office 5 times in a day because an incident happened with her daughter. But coincidentally, I was off that day. So like
you got away with it? You got away from it?
I thought I was able to get away from it until I got an email from the principal and I was like, oh, I guess I have to.
But she still blamed you even though you're off?
She emailed me and then I replied to her and she just never emailed me again. So yeah. But yeah, stuff like that. You know, I work at a high school.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone here is listening and wants to become a future teacher, high schools are the best in terms of dealing with parents. The parents are just kind of like, you know, just cut to the chase. You know, they don't really care much. As long as their kids are passing, they don't care.
Like younger kids, they might like care like exactly what they're learning and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they're way more hands-on, the parents, compared to the students in high school. You're working more with the students than the parents.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think right now what I'm really juggling and trying to figure out, and what's been difficult is my modality of what I want to go into, and I guess the population.
Modality?
Yeah, like modality
Sorry.
as in like
It's like a big word. I'm like, yo, what does that mean?
oh, modality as in like, do I want to do like attachment theory, or do I want to do
Okay.
cognitive behavioral theory? Do I want to do psychotherapy? So I think especially because right now I'm trying to apply to sites and figure out where my footing is going to be and where I'm going to get my training done at. So yeah, I don't know. There's just like this expectation, I think, that we as trainees put on ourselves to have our stuff together and know what we're doing. And I think I need to constantly remind myself that I'm still in training and I'm still trying to figure out how this is supposed to look and how I'm supposed to be a pretty good therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just not putting too much pressure on myself. I feel like in a master's program, you want to find your footing and trying to do things well. So I think that might be the hardest thing for me is doing it correctly, but also I think the program that I'm in is so rough.
Yeah.
Because I've had to unlearn a lot of things that I have been drilled with.
Oh, are we gonna learn the therapy, bro?
It's rough. And I'm just saying, therapy is not for the weak. Like, it really does a number on you.
Yeah, because I feel like you grow up with all these rules, these unspoken rules, and all these like values and things that you assume,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go into therapy and they're like, wait, like that's not normal, like
Exactly.
that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it is. Like it's like an immediate reaction.
Yeah.
Because your brain's just so used to it. So yeah, I've experienced that.
Yeah.
But what's like the most the most difficult thing you had to wrap your head around when trying to unlearn a lot of those things?
I have a really close relationship with my family, and I obviously, from like the background that I come from, our families, like our culture is very collectivist, and so coming from a collectivist culture and then being thrown into like this individualist type of perspective is really rough. So it's like, I feel like our society really emphasizes the importance of I, and I've been raised on we.
Mm-hmm.
And so breaking that of,
Yeah.
you can still have a we, but how do I also know how to contain like this individualistic type of perspective has been really rough for me.
Yeah, that's really difficult, and I feel like our culture is like, it's weird because we move here and it's still the collectivist culture, but like you go to school, it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, something I've noticed is actually like my parents, they consider me still their responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm moved out, like I pay everything my alone.
Yeah.
I have like everything covered, and my mom's still like you're my responsibility
Mm-hmm.
until you get married.
Yeah.
And I'm just like what?
That's very interesting because I
And I'm
hear
a
that.
guy, which is
Yeah,
weird.
exactly.
That's not normal for
I hear that a lot for girls, especially with the dad. Like I hear it a lot of like, you will always be my responsibility until you get married and you are your husband's responsibility. Then when that door comes knocking, then we'll figure it out. But yeah, I've noticed a lot of the time with our culture that our parents have so much identity invested in their children. And without their children, then they don't know who they are as a person.
Oh my gosh.
They
Seriously,
do not
bro.
know who they are.
Yeah.
Bro, I could go so far into this topic.
That's why I'm saying, like, this has been something that I've been juggling for the past couple months of just, like, I've been in therapy now for, almost a year. I want to say, like 9 months. And I was going consistently of, like, once a week. And I literally will
You're
sit
still messed up? Just kidding.
Thanks.
It didn't work? 9
Yes.
months? That's
No.
a long time, bro. You should
No,
be
but I
fixed.
had
You
to.
should be perfect
Okay,
at this
no,
point.
but I had to do 35 hours for my program.
Mm-hmm.
So even that in itself, like telling my parents that I had to do my own individual therapy, freaked them out.
Yeah.
They're just like, wait, you're not gonna like go shadow a therapist? Like you're doing it yourself?
We're not coming with you?
And I'm like, no, so we're gonna do family therapy?
Yeah.
It was so weird to them. Like they're like, no, you don't need a therapist. Like you have a priest that you can go talk to and like he can solve all your problems.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he can't.
Yeah.
Like, there's just different perspectives. Like, obviously it's really cool having the perspective of like religion and like society, but no, like going to a therapist and seeing things from a different perspective other than what you've been taught your entire life was so mind-boggling for me. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think therapy is such a taboo topic in our culture?
I think it's associated with craziness. I think they really do.
Yeah.
I think they really believe if you need to go see somebody else for your own problems, there's something wrong. And it's like, I think because our families and our culture and our parents' generations and older generations don't know what feelings and emotions and like problems are.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times our parents always say like, no, we don't have a problem. There's no issue. It's like, you're fine. Like, just brush it under the rug and get about your day. Like, why are you going to sit there and mope and worry about and dwell on it? And it's like, well, we have emotions for a reason. Like, they just didn't pop out of nowhere. Like, it's a humanistic thing to have. But they're so uncomfortable with it that it's like, don't go telling other people our problems. Like, this stays between you. This stays in our family. Like, how dare you go outside of these four walls and expose real life problems that we all face.
Like we're doing now.
No, actually. For the entire world to see.
Nemo, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with a lot I agree with a lot of what Maryan says. The Egyptian parents really make it their personality. And like, we had a therapist come to church last week. He's like a finance guy, but his side thing is therapy, but he's really good. And like when he said that like we're their personality, I know like.
Wait, he's a finance guy, but he does therapy?
Yeah, he does therapy on the side.
I think it's vice versa.
No,
I think bro.
he said his day job was a finance
Just sitting
guy.
in a small room, like
we can ask him.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I can help you.
Yeah.
Does he has a degree in it, or he just
he has
an MFT.
So
he's
he's
an
like,
MFT.
But he's not. I don't know if he's licensed in California. I think he does it on the side here. I'll ask him. I just want to drop his name because
No.
I'll help you.
I've talked to him. He definitely has a license in California.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He said like,
in terms of what like she was saying, like when he said that, I realized that like in Egypt and like in like, the Middle East, like sometimes you go meet this person, or like you just like talk to this guy in Egypt. At least when I went like years ago, and then they'll be like, I'll ask him like, what's this guy's name? And they're like, Ibn Fathi, or Ibn this, Ibn that. And it's like, you don't even have like a sense of individualism of your own name.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Your parents.
That's so true.
Your parents' personality are so ingrained.
Wait, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
His name is son of this guy.
Yeah, and like one of the biggest Egyptian singers, her name is Kalsoum.
They don't even give them the decency.
The identity, bro.
I actually
have no identity.
I don't know what Kalsoum's real name is. That's one.
Oh, that's so
and
funny.
two.
Wait.
That's actually crazy.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I never thought like Kalsoum is just such a.
I know. Oh my goodness! I remember when I was younger and I broke something at church. I broke. Wait. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
It's okay. I never realized that Kalsoum was
not
her name.
Yeah. I remember when I was at church when I was younger. I broke a window, and when I broke the window, this old guy, I like confessed to it, and this old guy. Don't break this.
Sorry, it's really hot.
I get so cold so easily.
I opened it earlier. Yeah, okay. This guy, so I broke a window at the old church that I used to go to. And then I went to go tell someone that I broke it. Okay. And then the guy went to Abanoub and he was like, Ibn Ahab did it. Like, the guy knew my name, but it had to be
affiliated with the family.
Yeah, with the family, yeah. So yeah,
that just makes it so much more detrimental. It's like, I let the family of Arfamin, and it's like,
yeah, and Egyptians too.
Jeez,
like,
man.
What are they gonna think about the family?
Yeah.
I think like, I don't know, over here if like you have like I don't know, we'll say like a kid who's not the social norm, maybe he's addicted to drugs, right? Mm-hmm. People don't really think of the family; they think of the kid. Like, what's this kid doing?
Yeah.
In Egypt, it's like, what is this family doing as a whole?
No, but I know some families here that are still like that.
Well,
you find any kind of business and it's like, oh, what type of aila do they come from? Like, what kind of
Yeah.
family raised them to be this type of person?
I do think this will die with like people, our age and
The
stuff.
newer generation.
Yeah. Now, of course, there's going to be like a fresh new batch of people that come from Egypt that are young
Yeah.
that might continue this, but I don't think it'll.
Lead into it.
Yeah, I don't think like in like 20, 30 years, I don't think this will be happening anymore.
Yeah, but
I can't wait until we.
the thing is, though, I feel like that's what the more like the newer churches.
Yeah.
I feel like with the older churches that still have like Arabic
Yeah.
as like one of the rooted languages that they probably still like talk, it's probably still most likely going to be like that.
Well, that's what I mean, right? When we have these like fresh new batch of people coming from Egypt, those people are going to keep those values,
yeah.
but the majority aren't. Now, I definitely feel bad for their kids, but yeah, the majority aren't.
But doesn't it feel odd in a way? Like when you go to like an American Coptic church, and then everybody's speaking English, and then you feel everybody's kind of like whitewashed in a way.
Yeah.
Doesn't it creep you out?
Honestly, I don't like going to American Orthodox churches.
Look, in terms of
I
like
don't.
whitewashing, right? I think it's just assimilating to the country, okay? And I don't know why, but maybe I'm wrong, or maybe there isn't. I feel like I don't know if there's a term for whitewashing for other countries, right? Like there are Coptic people in Japan. There's one Coptic church in Japan.
Japanese washing.
In a city called Osaka. Like if they assimilate to the culture,
But do you know how that church started though?
How did it start? I don't know how it started.
There's a big history behind how the church in Japan started.
Oh, how did it start? Give us a summary.
Okay, it traces back to the 21 martyrs of Libya.
Really?
Yeah. So
No way.
it was on the news everywhere. ISIS killed 21 people, the Coptics in Libya. This one Japanese guy, there was no church in Japan. He looks at the news and he said, wow, what are these Coptic people? He researches, goes online, connects with a priest in Egypt. And then he knew someone who spoke English, or they were able to translate for him. Yeah, and then from that guy, he told, I think he talked to one of the priests, and then they went to a bishop, and then he went to the Pope, and then they said, can I donate my house as the first Coptic church in Japan?
What?
So
That's amazing.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. So that's the story of how the Coptic church in Japan started. It wasn't necessarily because Coptic people moved to Japan.
Yeah.
It was that one Japanese guy that started it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's amazing. I didn't know that.
I watched the YouTube video. It's like it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to see how they do their hymns and use their language.
Yeah.
With
Even in different
praising God.
countries,
Yeah.
when they take like the Coptic hymns and you like,
It's interesting.
when you hear it in a different, like I heard a French liturgy, and it just sounded so beautiful.
French?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Yeah.
It's true.
There's a lot of like.
I want to hear
Middle Easterns
Japanese liturgy.
Have you heard like
It's interesting.
Spanish hymns, Coptic hymns, like also meant in Spanish?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Oh, it's really good.
Spanish sounds
Yeah.
so cool. In like Coptic hymns,
Mm.
I feel like it makes me really proud that the Coptic church is growing like that.
It is growing.
It's going like in every country.
Yeah.
I feel like we are the worst at bringing people in, but it works sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Like
Wait, what do you think, German Santa? I think. Alright, sorry, continue.
I think, like going back to the like whitewashing of things, I think there is a beauty with our faith that not a lot of Christian denominations still hold. Like I spoke to a professor of mine today, and like he was just curious about more about like the Coptic Orthodox Church, and he was like, I go to a Reformed church, and he's like, we barely do like 2 sacraments. And he's like, how many do you guys have? And I was like, 7.
Mhm.
And he was like, and you guys all do them? And I was like, yeah, for 2,000 plus years.
Yeah, we all do them.
And I'm like, and like even in like one of the classes that I had, like they're like, oh, like, in this time and age, like we don't wash the feet of like one another. And I'm like, you don't? And I'm like, Abuna washes it like every Holy Week. What do you mean? And that's just normal for us, because it's like, I think that's the beauty that we've withhold in our culture and in our religion of, like just this it's so rich. And I think there's also the beauty of like the language still being embedded in it, and like throwing Arabic out of it. It's just like, I have this pride in me of like not wanting to let the Arabic language die. And like, I think that's so important to me of like, when I have the future generation of like teaching my kids Arabic because I know how much it's benefited me as like a grown adult, knowing 2 languages and like how far it gets me in life.
How much does it really get you? Because I mean, how often do you use it on a daily basis outside of your house? Because I never use Arabic.
I use it with like all my communication with all my friends, or like even like my drives, like going anywhere. Like I will speak to myself in Arabic because like sometimes it just like makes sense for me up here, or like my instant reaction to something, like I'll say something in Arabic and it's like not even like a conscious thing that I do. It's just such an automatic response. But it's also going back to like my own parents. Like my parents really instilled in me and my brother at a very young age to like withhold this like native tongue that we have, that I think a lot of parents neglect with their kids in this generation, and like the coming generation. They're like, oh, it's just so hard. Like, why am I gonna put in the work to teach my kids another language?
You just talk to them in Arabic though, like.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not hard.
And like, especially kids are like such sponges. Like they absorb everything. So it's like if you just constantly speak to them. My brother's first language, when me and my brother were born and raised here, so it's like both of our first languages were Arabic, and it's like now my brother's an adult and he doesn't speak it as much, but he understands everything. Like you can speak to him in a full conversation of Arabic, he'll respond to you in English, but he knows everything you're telling him.
Yeah, honestly,
that alone is amazing.
I think Arabic is a way more interesting like language than English. I feel like it's like so much more expressive.
Yes.
And you can, I don't know, like the words, like they just have so much more power.
They have this oomph.
Like I know, dude, and things are so much funnier in Arabic.
Yeah.
They're so much funnier.
And you can't translate them.
Yeah, it's not transfer. Like, dude, you can't.
And I think
it's
that's
so
also
funny.
like a beauty in it of like you'll say something in Arabic and it's like, how do you translate that in English?
Yeah,
like it just doesn't make sense.
It just hits so different.
Yeah.
It just does not hit the same.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I know you're big on getting rid of all Egyptians and.
I'm not.
No association with Egyptians.
I'm not. No, that's not the case. I do like Egyptian values, but I don't like certain, maybe certain negative or toxic things that come with the Egyptian
I get that.
world. I think there's good values and bad things in every language, culture, human being, whatever, right? Now, if we're gonna say like good Egyptian values, there's a good sense of community. Most people are willing to help each other. People care about each other, and then there's the toxic side, right? Where like people are like in each other's business, just constant judgment, stuff like that, right? So, I do hope that as time goes on, and we have these American Orthodox churches, that those things kind of get erased away, the negative things, and the positive things remain. And I feel like that's how I see it, at least at the church that I go to, at the center, right? Yeah. Like, we're all super Americanized. We speak mostly English with each other. Of course, some of us do Arabic for funsies, but we speak mostly English, and we don't really, at least to my knowledge, display those like negative things that come from Egypt, right? Yeah.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna add on to that. Yeah, I feel like Egyptian culture, like there is a lot of this this judgment, and I think it goes back to collectivism. It's like, oh, this kid's showing up to church late. Okay, so like let's judge the parents and let's judge the family as to why, rather than let's try to figure out a way that this kid can actually come to church on time. Yeah. Or like giving this kid bad looks in church to make him feel like
shame.
But the crazy part is, I'm gonna say something kind of crazy, is that the stuff kind of works. Like not in the way where it's like healthy, and it actually helps the kid grow up in like a good environment, but in a way that it's like they actually end up showing up to church more. Yeah. But I'm not saying we should continue doing it. Yeah. But like, so for example, we had a servant at our church that was like really strict, like and he would like every week, hymns. This time, if you don't show up on time, you're not coming in, right? So there's already like that, psychology, so like that sense of like out group, like you're already rejected from the group if you show up late, right? And then like you smirk in class, you're out of class. You look at your friend or you make a joke, you're out. Like,
did you survive?
No,
class?
I didn't.
Yeah,
I was, bro. I got kicked out like so many times, and my mom would go back to him and be like, "Please let David join the hymn class," and then he'd be so buddy with my mom and like so nice. Yeah. And then I would go to class, and then I would just like look at him, and then he'll like look at him wrong, and he'll be like, stop doing that. Like I like breathe.
Did it ever click for you?
No, it never did. I was always rebellious. But anyway, if you look at our church now.
Wait, I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm curious about this rebellion. What in you
Oh, great! Here
wanted
comes
you?
the therapist. Great, bro. We're gonna do a live therapy session.
What in you wanted to just be rebellious? Like why? What was intriguing to you about it?
I just have always hated authority, and I always like to do things on my own. To be honest, me not going to class on time was probably my mom just being late. That's the first thing. Second thing, if I even did get there on time, I'd probably like try to escape.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because like, I don't know. I just didn't see the value in it. The outgroup thing never affected me. Like it never really made me feel bad that I wasn't in the outgroup. Like I was a part of like the hymns, because it was like whatever. And then also, him being mean, like kind of being like mean and like kicking me out, made me want to rebel more.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I won't be part of your class. I don't care.
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
Yeah, I had reverse effects on that.
You had reverse?
Yeah, the reverse. Because for me, like when I got kicked out of that group, I felt so excluded. I felt so like it just annoyed me. Like I'm not like everybody else.
Yeah.
But then when I grew up, when I was like in it's 10th grade in high school, and I was like one of the older kids in there, and now I didn't want it anymore. You know. So
wait, how come?
I don't know. I think something in psychology where if something's like you can't get it, it's undesirable, you want it more. But then once you achieve it, once you get it, and then like after you show up to class and you're like, okay, like this, you hype it, like you hype it in your head. But then once you get there and then it becomes routine, you don't really care about it.
I feel like that's the same with relationships.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always
Wait, I wanna so yeah, just real quick. So so then what the result of that was, the generation that they were really tough on, we still have the same guys from 15 years ago that were showing up to that class at church, most of them there every Sunday singing the same hymns. So yeah, it brought discipline. So I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think that like public shaming sometimes works, but then
public shaming.
I think it does sometimes work, but it can have its negative impacts if you're not like either a critical thinker or an independent enough thinker, right?
Okay, so thanks.
So oh, you're a critical thinker, don't worry. So
now.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm always late on to church on Sundays, and I'm always just so late, and public shaming has helped me get there a little earlier, not early as enough, but let's say someone out there was easily impacted by public shaming, they might start to think, for like normal things, what are other people gonna think?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It mentally does mess with a person.
Yeah, it does. And then some people have the opposite effect, where I've seen this so many times, where they're like, I don't want to go to church because I know this person's gonna say this and say that and say that. And those people are gone forever.
Want to go, yeah.
Those people are gone forever.
I remember going on a cruise with friends a long, long time ago, and we had this guy who, in my opinion, he's super worried about his self-image, and all of us just like kind of walked into a room. I think it was like 8 or 9 of us. We just like walked into the cruise room, which those are super cramped, and we all came out running at the same time. It was a joke, and then he noticed that he knew some Egyptians on board. And they saw him coming out of that room with us. And the entire time, for like a day, he just kept thinking, like, he just kept telling us, like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. Like, what about the people? What are they going to say? Like, I know these people, I know these people that. I'm just like, dude, like, this is another thing that I live by. It's this thing called the 3-day rule that I found online. And it's like, if you're hesitant to do something, just do it. Unless you think you might have to make a statement in 3 days. Like, if one of us here did something dumb on this podcast, by the time we go to sleep and wake up, I don't think any of us are going to remember, right? Same thing applies to, like, I don't know, just doing something funny or dumb. But, like, within reason, of course. But, yeah, that's what I just feel like when those people say, like, and that's this and that's that, most people are going to forget the next day.
No one even cares.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think that's such like an embedded thing in our families, though. Like a lot of our families care about what people are going to say, and like what do they think. And it's like, I know for me, like from a very young age, it's like, it's like, what are they gonna say? And it's like, let them go see their own children before they start talking about me. But that's the thing, they don't. Like, they have their own world of
Yeah,
so
they
many
do.
problems, and they're like, did you see what David was wearing at church today? And it's like, why does it matter what he was wearing?
Yeah.
Your son's not even coming to church, bro.
Oh yeah, for real. My mom does that. My mom will come home and she'll be like, no, sorry, mom. She'll come home and then she'll be like, this person said this thing to me, and I'm like, dude, like, why does this matter? Like I feel like I don't know.
I've really gotten to the point, like, where it's like, you do good, they're gonna talk. You do bad, they're gonna talk. So might as well do something that you know that you're doing right. You know, like, God is happy with you about. Your parents aren't tripping about, and you're, like, I can't live my life. That's another thing that I've had to, like, unlearn. I cannot live my life always thinking in the back of my head, what are they gonna say? Because that literally puts me in such a small box of, like, crap. Like, if I go somewhere, like, oh my God, the entire congregation is gonna see me, and it's like, no, they're not. Like, we're not in Egypt. I think that's the thing that our parents also bring in. It's like, the neighbors are gonna see you out in public. And it's like, the neighbors don't even know I exist. Like, what?
Oh my goodness, my dad, like, till today, when we want to travel somewhere, we have to carry the bags. Because what if the neighbors hear the bags clicking?
They're gonna know that we're gone. They're gonna rob us.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Open the light so they know that somebody's home, and then we're gonna go on a trip so they're not tripping.
Yeah.
They have these, like, superstitions that they really...
Dude, one time...
It's so bad.
I feel bad, but one time I, like, weaponized the illness system on this lady. So she was, like, her and I were debating about, like, listening to the parents. And I told her that, like, I used to come home after my curfew because I would, like, hang out with my friends at church. And that, like, it's okay to come home late from church because I'm not doing anything bad. But she has, like, this very illness mentality. And, like, I knew her kids go to, like... I knew, like, her kids go to, like, hookah shops and, like, do, like, hookah things and whatever, which is, like, in the Catholic world, it's so bad. And I was like, what? Like, I'm just coming home late from church. I'm not like, coming home late from the hookah bar. Like, you could just tell that, like...
How mad was she?
That was, like... She just kind of, like, toned down, and I was like, wow, maybe that was a little too much. But I was like, you know what? I'm coming home from church. I'm not coming home to the hookah bar.
No,
it worked.
That's a good point.
It worked.
Yeah.
And, dude, oh my goodness, this is another thing. It's crazy. She's, like, pretty Egyptianized, and she goes around to, like, Egyptian churches, and she gives parenting talks, and, like, when her and I talked, I was like, what qualification do you have?
Yeah, no, actually.
Yeah, this
That's
Santa
the
might
thing.
have a better qualification
No,
than her, 'cause
actually.
he's remaining quiet.
Dude.
All the parents think they have
Oh my
PhDs,
God, yeah.
MDs, and it's like, did you see Facebook? They have the remedies to cure cancer, and it's like the group said.
No, one time my mom came home
gosh.
from work and she dropped her bag and then she opened the drawer, took out all the ramen, just tossed it in the trash.
All the what?
All the
Ramen.
all like packs of ramen.
It gives you cancer.
And I was like, Mom, why did you throw away all the ramen? She's like, oh, you see it on Facebook? It says it gives you cancer. We can't eat no more ramen. No more ramen. I'm like, bro, do you know how much oil you put in the beans and the food every morning? Like,
You freaking clog our arteries
know,
with all of
literally,
our semna and all the lahma that we eat, but ramen is what's gonna give you cancer.
yeah, literally, it's crazy.
They have so much faith in Facebook and, like,
Dude.
remedies. It's like, Facebook said. It's like,
Well, one time I fact-checked my mom on Facebook, and I showed her how to fact-check something. She obviously didn't pay attention. But I showed her, like, she had, like, posted this... someone posted this photo of this church that was so AI-generated. Of, like, all this fire around it, and the church remained standing. And I was like, Mom, this is an AI image. And she didn't believe me. And I had to explain to her what AI was. And then I showed her how to, like, reverse image search. We couldn't find any information on the church. The church didn't look like it was in LA, which they said there was an LA
oh
fire.
my gosh.
And yeah, they really trust Facebook. They retweet or
Yes,
not
bro.
retweet, share. But yeah,
That's crazy, dude. I mean, I don't know. I feel like all the people are still on Facebook and they're just spreading information, but they're doing a better job. Like Mark said that he's trying to improve it and doing a better job of like trying to do community posts and stuff. So hopefully that fixes it.
maybe if your parents like have this very specific thought about something, get like an Egyptian psychologist, like AI video, to say what you want them to say, and then they'll believe it.
reverse psychology them.
No. Make a Facebook account, post that video, make a whole persona for this
Mama, did you see what they posted on Facebook?
Make sure he's Coptic too, because they don't trust anyone else.
guy. Let your
Show
kid-
your cross.
No, as long as they speak Arabic, they trust them.
Dude, my
Yeah,
mom,
yeah,
As
just
long
have
as
this
there's
together.
Arabic
Yeah.
writing or something
my
related to
mom's
Arabic.
in love with this like therapist, Dr. Nabil. But he's like like when you go on YouTube and type him up, like all his videos are like so old, and this is the only push that she listens to. I think he's like 80 now, and she loves him. Which Dr. John Gottman, my favorite guy in the world.
He's pretty good.
I love him. He's 80 something.
He's him and his wife.
I showed you him a few days ago. The biggest love researchers in the world.
Him and his wife did a theory of like for relationships. And it's actually really interesting. I had to do training for it.
Oh, let me hear. I want to hear about it.
The guy I showed
It's
you a
his
picture of.
niche. He loves it. I had to do the
training for it.
I had to do a 10-hour training for it, and I'm like,
I
just
want to hear it.
there's a house. There's like 8 different steps in it, of like foundations of like how to like build the house and like have a good relationship. Some of the tools that is embedded in it is like, okay, what is your problem? What is her problem? Are you guys able to look at each other and like tell each other the problem, and that like forms a connection. There's also this thing of like the story that you're telling yourself. A lot of us tend to tell ourselves a narrative in our mind than what the actual person is trying to tell you, and you just run with it. And it's like, okay, is that something that you actually meant? And they're like, no, this is actually what I meant. And it just like blows the other person's mind. And then he talks about the 4 horsemen, which is denial. Is it denial? No, it's not denial. It's stonewalling.
Stonewalling, I think resentment.
Resentment.
I used to know.
Here, let
this.
me look it up.
Yeah, it's
Stonewalling, resentment.
do your job.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Resentment.
What is it called?
4
Four
horsemen.
4 horsemen.
Dude, I used to know them, and I used to know them by heart.
Oh, Gottman. Oh shoot. I
Stonewalling.
like the 4 horsemen pizza.
Are you hungry?
No, it was an accident.
I literally had to do homework on this.
Let's see.
Okay, I
Criticism,
know who's not
contempt,
gonna be my third.
defensiveness, stonewalling.
Contempt and defensiveness.
So
Okay.
criticism, verbally attacking personality or character. Oof. And then and then instead of doing that, you should do gentle startup. Talk about your feelings using I statements and express a positive need.
I learned that at a really young age when I did my like first psych classes when I was in high school. That changed so many of my relationships, because when you go into a conversation with a person, be like, you did X, Y, and Z, and they're like, whoa, it instantly feels like daggers are getting thrown at you, and you just instantly go into like attack mode, versus being like, I felt sad because of the way you reacted to something that I showed you. In a way,
That is a lot more
you're
powerful.
throwing it on you of like, my emotion is X, Y, and Z, and the person's like, it's kind of like this acknowledgement of like, okay, she's not attacking me, she's verbalizing how she's feeling. And that changed so many of the communications that I had with people.
Yeah, I feel like that's really powerful. Yeah, because I think when you criticize people, they immediately get into a defensive mode. They're like, okay, this person's being an asshole because they're just trying to point out things about me. Now I'm going to jump right back at them. So I think that is very powerful. And I think I've used it a couple times too.
It's huge.
I haven't used it in a while. I feel like I forgot all my psychology stuff. But I guess we can move on. Contempt. Next one's contempt. Now this is attacking sense of self with an intent to insult or abuse. And instead of doing that, you should build culture of appreciation. Remind yourself of all your partner's positive qualities and find gratitude for positive actions. And then the next one is defensiveness. Victimizing yourself to ward off a perceived attack and reverse the blame.
It's what everyone does.
So victimizing yourself. Ooh, this is rough. Take responsibility instead of doing that. Accept your partner's perspective and offer an apology for any wrongdoing. And then stonewalling, the last one, is withdrawing to avoid conflict and convey disapproval, distance, and separation. Instead of that, take a break and spend the time doing something soothing and distracting. Dude, the crazy part is I've been stonewalling someone for like the past 2 days.
That's the thing. All of these go so hand in hand because it's literally our body going into defense mode of like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want anybody to come in. I want to protect myself at all costs. I'm going to throw everything on them and not take any ownership and responsibility. That it just separates you in every which way.
Do you feel like some of these are more geared towards men and some of these are more geared towards women? Like, do you think that women are more likely to criticize in a relationship or men are, or do you think it's
I feel like men...
Anybody, or based on personality?
I think in a podcast he said men are most likely to
Yes. Stonewalling is more towards men because when a woman is trying to tell you like, I want this and I want that and you're not giving me this and you're not doing this for me, his instant thing is just turn the volume down and like, I'm just going to go do something else. I'm not paying attention. I'm not here. And like, I'm just going to throw myself into my work and my business and not care about my wife's needs or my significant other's needs.
Yeah,
It's such an automatic response for men. And I think for women, I think it's contempt. They're so quick to like want to like do this for me and do that for me and like think about me. What was contempt?
Attacking sense of self with an intent to insult or abuse.
Yeah, they're so quick to like, you did this and you did that and you weren't listening to me, and it's like that automatically makes the man want to be defensive.
How do you even respond to that? Like, what's a good way if a woman's attacking you to respond to them? Like a healthy way of responding.
Just stonewall.
No, says Gottman's.
Is that what you do?
No.
I think in moments like that, I think it takes a lot of emotional maturity, and I think a lot of people in this generation lack emotional maturity.
Dude, I think
I'm saying on
way
men
more excelling than like our
Yes,
parents.
I agree. 110% agree. But I think men and women both still struggle with understanding themselves and understanding their triggers and understanding what upsets me and how to react to something and taking ownership and responsibility for your actions.
Yeah, he's laughing. I wonder why he's laughing.
Why are we
I'm
laughing?
laughing because I'm waiting for you guys to argue. I just know it's gonna happen. I'm like,
No.
I'm like preparing.
No,
I'm
we
like,
agree.
oh, God.
We agree with the stuff. This is stuff we agree on
Okay,
because
wait. So
I
you
don't
guys
argue.
disagree?
I don't like argue or make points when
I'm
people
just
are right.
waiting. I'm like, I don't know what
Oh, yeah,
topic. it is.
whenever, if anyone's right, I'm not gonna argue them. You know.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of times, is she right? No. So then that's when I have to drop in my.
It's
my
like
shit.
a ticking time bomb. Just waiting.
it'll come out. Don't worry.
No. It doesn't have to.
It'll come out eventually.
I just don't know when it's happening. And okay. So yeah. So let's say Nemo. Like let's say a girl's attacking you. She's like, you're the person that you're with. If you're with somebody.
Yeah.
Is like saying like, oh, you need to fix this. You need to fix this. She's kind of doing the opposite of what is it?
Using I statements.
Yeah, using I statements, which is part of gentle startup, right? She's using the opposite. How do you deal with that?
Okay. I do notice that sometimes I get kind of defensive, and then I try my best to start apologizing and to agree with the things she's saying. Now, in the past, that's what I've done.
What about if you don't agree with her?
So, that's also happened before, where I will apologize. I'll say I'm sorry. This has happened before.
But I don't agree with the apologies.
Well, if something has happened that bothered her, I'll apologize.
Okay.
Now, I will also say I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be defensive here, but this, and that, right? So, I will defend myself, but I will try not to like be too defensive. Just give a few points and move on, because I feel like defensiveness is important, but if you prolong it, or if it's super severe or like just if it's too much, I think that's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
But like if she says, well, I don't kind of feel like you care about me, well, I do, and here are a few examples.
So that
Examples.
that question is a charged question, because you're trying to get that. When the girl asks that, she's trying to like pry in there, just piss you off. But
And I'm not saying this happens often in my life, but I kind of feel like you don't know me well enough. Well, I might not be the best in that, but here are a few examples of how I know you pretty well, right? You just do that.
Every fiber in my body is just like respond.
I think Ab had something to say.
I think
Let him respond
when you
first.
get
It's fun, though.
defensive, I think girls don't like that.
Yeah.
I feel like when I have a girl like blowing my phone, or she calls me, like they call you on midnight. I think that's when they get all their feelings, and then they're just blowing your ear off in the and on the phone. I think it's better. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like girls like to like just vent to you.
Yes.
And just let them vent and listen.
Yep.
Just say like that's crazy, or just let them vent.
That's crazy.
Let them
I'm
get
laughing
everything
because-
out. right?
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm saying, like, let them get everything out, and then you have to let them cool, or you don't even have to say anything, and then maybe you check in like a day later. But in the moment, you just heat it up. You're just adding fuel to that fire. Yep. So I think you just like let them.
I know how many That's Crazies
are
enough.
One should not even be mentioned. If you're hitting me with a "that's crazy" while I'm venting to you, we're done. There's no future conversations.
What? That's crazy.
If I'm sitting there and be like, okay, if it's a serious thing and I'm in my feels and I'm like, I feel like you don't love me and I feel like you don't listen to me, and he's like, that's crazy. Nah, bro, we're done.
Okay, what if she's complaining about like her coworker or something?
That's valid. Like if she's like, this girl at work today, like she had the audacity to do X, Y, and Z, and you're like, oh my God, that is so crazy. Be like, right? Like I'm not tripping. Like I'm not crazy. Like she was tripping. That's how she feels, that it's like, okay, you hear me, like we're in this together, like I don't feel alone.
And
so
then you offer the solutions and she's I don't want to hear the solutions.
So that was what I was going to tell you guys. So going back to your point, you were like, I don't think you should apologize. There is so much value in literally, like, if a girl comes up to you and you guys are in a relationship and she's like, you know, today, like, I just felt like you weren't listening to me and I don't feel like you care about me and I don't feel like you love me. And you just being like, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if I made you feel that way. And I'm sorry that, like, because even saying the words I'm sorry shows the compassion side of, like, I hear that you have emotions behind it and I know that it severely affected you and I apologize that I made you feel that way. Validating her emotions and letting her know that it's like, you are valid to feel how the way that you feel, and it's vice versa. If she does something that attacks you and it's like, I didn't like the way that you did that, she equally has to be like, I'm sorry. Like, I value the way that you feel and I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. With like going future, like in relationships, the key point is like, it, like, especially with like dating and like communicating with people, it's like girls literally just want to talk your ear off. They love it. And like the easiest thing you guys can do is just be like, do you want my opinion or do you just want to vent? That one question there will save you so much energy and time. And it's like, do you just want me to just sit here? And she'll be like, yeah, I just want you to listen to me.
Okay, but here's the problem. Like, okay, so let's say I'm dating somebody and they're like, I just came home from work. My managers did this thing that really bothered me and I have to like figure this out and I have to figure out how I'm going to move forward and stuff like this, right? That requires a solution.
9 out of 10 times she already...
That requires a solution.
9 out of 10 times she already has the solution.
Exactly.
Yeah. She already knows. But because she loves you and she, like, you guys are in a relationship, she's like, it's so in here. Women think so much in here. They just want to let it out. When they talk to you about it, it's instantly, it's like...
You should just go to the bathroom then.
She's not a man. You guys can sit on the toilet and you guys can just let your stuff out and then you guys are good. With women, we literally just like, let me get it out, because when it bottles up in here, it comes out in your relationship. And I like wholeheartedly believe that. If I'm so in here and I have 50,000 things going on and I don't verbally let it out, it's playing out in the relationship of like, why are you pissed off? Why are you in a bad mood? Because I'm so in here and you don't know what the heck is going on in me. Versus if she just lets it out and you're like, do you want me to just hear you out? Like, I can just be a shoulder for you to cry on and just hear you. That has so much value and holds so much space for her, more than like you guys could ever like imagine.
Okay, if it gets too much, ChatGPT has a feature where it talks back verbally. Can I just give her the ChatGPT and she talks to me?
Do you want to be single? That's what you're asking for.
No.
I would feel like such a slap in the face of like, if I wanted to talk to an AI, I would do that on my own.
Dude, I don't do this anymore, but I used to go on like these long drives, okay, because I have to deal with, like, if I have to run an errand that's far away, and I haven't done it in a while. I haven't had a long drive in a while, but I would go on ChatGPT, and you know, for most people that know me, they don't like to bake, and I would talk to it about the next particular item that I was baking and how to get it right, and I just loved talking to ChatGPT, and I told my girlfriend, and I told all my friends and my cousin, if none of you pick up the phone, ChatGPT always picks up the phone.
I'm so dead.
Dude, no, you know what? You're right. I've done that too.
I'm so dead.
I know.
I'm
not even ashamed.
Yeah, I have learned so much about Basque cheesecake specifically, just because like I had such a long conversation with ChatGPT on it.
Okay, but think about that in the perspective of like a female.
Try it, Maryan, try it.
It's literally the same thing. It's like, think about how you feel in that moment. It's like, if he literally said it, if none of you guys pick up the phone, I'm going to talk to ChatGPT because I know it's going to respond to me. Same thing in a relationship. It's like, if a girl wants to just talk, first person she's going to call is her significant other. Yeah. She just wants you to be there and just hear her out.
Yeah,
But won't the AI ruin relationships? Because I think AI will make us more lonely if I'm just having someone.
Dude, I told my girlfriend, her name's Angela. I told Angela, I do think that like, you know, like when your parents are like, I don't know, we don't like when like these gays are getting married and stuff, and you just like leave them alone. Mm-hmm. I think in the future, like we're gonna be those people. We're gonna be like, we don't like it when like the AIs get with the real people.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be so real. And I think that like with like the Tesla bot and other types of like robots, and like when they start knowing how to respond quickly, and you never have an argument with it, it's so nice to you all the time,
dude. It's,
you know, if it annoys you, just push a button. It's
but
like the robot vacuum
no.
cleaner.
But you know
make it go away.
But you know what's gonna happen? Have you watched that one movie with Megan Fox?
Yeah, Subsurveillance.
I literally was thinking Her.
I haven't watched Her, but I've heard of Her.
Her is so crazy.
I never finished it. But
it's a really good movie.
It's really good, but the thing is, like, dude, the thing is so perfect that the guy, that it thinks the guy, all it wants is pleasure. He think like, so he just does everything to pleasure him. But then he gets to a certain point, and he's like, dude, this is miserable. I need a human being.
He wants a connection.
He wants to argue. He wants to fight. He wants the thing to have its own opinion.
They'll program the AI to just fight.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Like all of us crave closeness and connection. Like at the root of all of us, all we want is connection and closeness with people. Whether that's in community or whether that's in a relationship, whether that's one-on-one, like that is truly what we thrive for.
I think for like a very minuscule population, like a very small amount, it might be the thing that makes someone happy. Like I have a student.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I have
a lot of lonely guys for sure.
Yeah, I have a student with autism. He doesn't care about anything. Literally, he doesn't have any friends. He walks around alone. That is just part of his autism, most likely. He downloaded Character AI, where he could just talk to any character in their voice, and he is loving it, dude. He has all these new friends.
That's nice.
He has a girlfriend on there. He's
That's good. That's good and bad though, because you're living outside of reality. But at a certain point,
I mean,
I
for
think
him,
that's the detrimental part.
AI is going to become reality.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's
for him, that's
so detrimental.
For him, it's the only option. He doesn't want an actual human being to deal with.
And again, we keep asking ourselves why people 100 years ago, or probably not 100 years ago, people in other countries without all this technology are happier than us.
Thriving off of happiness.
It's crazy.
We are in such a consumer culture of like, what's the new thing? What else? Like, once you grasp something that you've been wanting, it's like, okay, what else do I want next? And it's like, we can never just be content, ever.
I realized recently that like, with all the baking stuff that I buy, sometimes it's like specialized and I have to like go to like a specific aisle in Target or Walmart. And I was like, wow, there's no more enrichment. There's no more looking for it. I just go on my phone and it tells me what aisles to get it in. Yeah, there's no more enrichment. Like I don't walk around the store anymore. I just know where it is.
Even with like maps.
We're not made for this.
Like, we're just so quick. It's like, okay, like,
yeah.
Before we had a physical map and then it moved into like getting directions online and like MapQuest and like printing out directions. And after that, it transitioned into your phone and it's like, why do I need to know a sense of direction? Like, my phone is going to tell me.
I worked in Long Beach for 4 years. And I went to college there for 4 years. So I've been in that city for 2 years. I've been in that city for 6 years.
And you have no
I still
idea
don't know how
where
to
you're
get around
going.
Long Beach.
That's crazy.
When my students are like, oh, North Long Beach, like I have to go on Google.
Well, I honestly, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. But, like, I hate the way Long Beach was designed.
Oh yeah, I don't like it.
Like, I don't know who designed it, dude. Oh my god, I'm holding back so many words.
What do you not like about it?
Dude, it's literally drawn by a 3-year-old.
I'm dead.
Like, who designed these streets, bro?
You know the circle?
Diagonal here, and then a circle. And then
Downtown Circle? Or Downtown Orange?
No. The circle in Long Beach is a circle. But that circle, like years ago, a long time ago, didn't have lanes. People would just go and hope for the best. Yeah, it was like Egypt. Oh my god! But yeah, you're right. The way it's designed, especially downtown Long Beach, they have like rough. They have like separate traffic lights and stuff. It's really confusing.
It is rough, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sorry.
It's okay.
I want to ask you guys back about relationships. So like, what do you feel like is the most difficult thing to deal with in a relationship for most people? I know probably for guys it's listening, but what about the other way around? For girls, what's the most difficult thing for girls to deal with in a relationship?
From the guy?
Yeah.
I'll go first.
I think I think
I thought we were
sometimes.
supposed to know everybody's perspective.
Huh?
Never mind.
You're supposed to know every perspective?
I thought you were supposed to know both perspectives.
I am, but I'm also trying to like actually think of what's the most challenging thing that I've noticed in like classes of like females versus males. And I think being heard. I think that's a really hard thing.
Like a guy being heard?
No, like the girl being heard.
Oh no, I was talking about like from the perspective of the guy.
So what is hard? Reframe your
She can't
question.
even-
Yeah, reframe it, please.
Sorry, I'm being mean.
No, it's okay. I just
Um,
want to understand it, so I answer it
so
quick.
like you know how
correctly.
like the biggest thing that guys struggle with in relationships is listening to girls?
Yeah,
Or actually listening and
Yeah.
like, validating their feelings.
yeah.
What is that equivalent for guys?
So what is a hard thing that a guy does for a girl to accept?
No, you mean for girls? What's the,
For girls, my bad.
For girls.
So like what's the equivalent of a guy not listening?
Mhm.
The other way around. It's not she can't-
I'm so
She can't
confused.
accept it. Women cannot make any mistakes.
No, I'm like he literally had to correct you. I still
I think what
mishfahma.
he's saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
I think one of the hardest things for girls to endure in a relationship is not feeling heard. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now
And the opposite
the
is
damage to their feelings and what it does to them. What is that for men?
No, you don't ask her what's that for men. I think you guys.
No,
you
but-
guys have
I
literally
don't-
the questions
I
so
I told him to
jumbled.
correct me if I'm wrong, and he hasn't corrected me.
No,
No,
you're
but-
right. You're right.
I
That's
was
exactly
right.
what it was. Yeah, like okay, women, they feel like they're not heard in relationships, and they don't get their feelings validated by men.
Yeah.
Flip it around.
Yeah. What?
What's that equivalent in a relationship for girls? Like, what's the hardest thing that girls are unable to do?
Oh, see, that's a better question.
Okay.
Thank you. So,
That's what he's been saying the entire time.
odd seconds. What is hard for girls to do in a relationship with a guy is, I think sometimes it's like accepting that they can also be wrong. I think women always want to be put on a pedestal. Did I get the question right? I'm so confused. I'm like you guys are both laughing at each
Yeah,
other.
you got it right. You got it right.
Well, we can't laugh though.
No, when
go
you guys
ahead.
laughed, then I'm like, okay, did I not get the question?
No, I was looking at Nemo. It's funny. I'm sorry.
So that's actually a thing. Like so.
I think women always, and I will say this firsthand, like myself, I know that I deal with this a lot. Sometimes it's hard for us to like accept that like we can also be wrong.
Oh, or dude, this is another one. I don't know if this goes off with what you're saying, but like saying something that the guy feels is logical, and then he wants like a response to it.
Reassurance.
The girl like doesn't want to like use like doesn't want to counteract the logicalness statement of the guy.
She doesn't want to
Is it
like
even a sentence?
she doesn't want to say that his statement was accurate.
Yeah, or like if his statement is accurate and he's like, okay, so what's another solution, or what should I do differently? And then she says, I don't know, but I'm still not like into it. Like that, I think that kills guys. You know what I mean, or not really?
I think so.
The way that I
reframe
perceived,
it.
the way that I perceived that is like you say a solution to something, and she's not acknowledging that it's an accurate solution for it because
No.
it didn't come from her.
She might acknowledge that it's accurate, but she's not happy with the solution.
Is it because it came from you?
No, she's just not happy with the solution in general.
That's a different story.
Yeah, that's something
That's
else.
that's like when like the girl doesn't trust in the guy's judgment. That's a whole different story.
That is another embedded story.
That's another.
That's not what I'm
animal.
trying to say
huge.
though.
That's
That's not what I'm
another-
trying to say.
That's another animal. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's more like, okay, this is one. Let's say you tell your girlfriend or some girl, right? You know, this whole... never mind. No, I'm not going to say it right now.
Okay. I have another interesting question. Okay.
Can I finish
So-
my thought process though?
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
She wants to be heard.
No, I think because I'm also like calling myself out about this is like there are many times where like I'll talk to somebody and they'll catch me in something and like I was wrong about it, but I don't know what it is in my
I
body
get that.
to admit that I am wrong.
Yeah.
And I'll joke about it. Be like, no, I didn't say that. Even though I know I did, but it's just something innate in me of like, I guess it's also that factor of just like taking responsibility of my actions. In some cases, it's like if I was being a jerk about something, sometimes myself, I will catch it like the split second after it happens, and I'll instantly be like, I'm sorry, that came off really harsh, and it didn't come out the way that I intended for it to come out. But in other perspectives is like I can be talking to somebody about something and then I'll completely hear something incorrectly. And they'll be like, no, like I said this and like you didn't hear me. And I'll be like, no, I heard what you said. Like, but I'll do it in a joking manner of not conforming to it of like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me sometimes to admit that I'm wrong.
Fair enough. And I actually respect that you can admit that. But I was wondering, do you think that's more of a personality thing or a female thing?
I think both. I think a lot of times. I think it also goes hand in hand with emotional maturity. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of girls, like, especially being raised with having everything go your way.
Yeah.
And then being told that you're wrong about something, it's like, how dare you question me? I'm always right. And women really run with this, I'm 110% right and you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah. And the phrase that always comes out is like a lot of guys are like, yeah, she's always right. Mm-hmm. She's always right, which I don't get, but, you know.
Yeah.
Wait, do women like men that care, like are caring? You're telling me like women like a guy that listens to them, that cares about their feelings and things like that. But from my experience where like I'm involved in your life or in that girl's life, I think it comes to the point where she hates it, she resents it. Where like when I was talking to a girl and then I was planning dates, I was like, let's go there. I just got tickets for this. It comes to the point where you're kind of being, too caring in a sense that you're not cool anymore. She wants you to be, you have a level that you don't care. You're nonchalant in a way. Is that true?
Then she's not there.
She's not there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. Do you perceive that as immaturity on the girl side? Okay.
But maybe the attachment style thing too, like, right?
Mm-hmm. So it plays a lot of factors. I think one thing you said earlier that made me think about that was something that somebody told me, and it literally clicked for me because it was so true. It's like with people too, it's like when somebody is so accessible to you, it makes you not desire them. Exactly. And that is with anything. Yeah. It's like if this is in arm's reach, I know I'm going to be able to get it at any given point. I'm not going to fight for it. When something isn't always at your disposal and it's always not like, I know I can pick up the phone and like David will always answer. So it's like, I know David feels me or like he's attracted to me or whatever. If I don't even give him the time of day, I know he's still going to be there. That's how, sorry girls, I'm really going to put us on blast. But girls really do function that way of like, if he is at my disposal, I know I can coy with him and I can play with him however I want. At the end of the day, if I pick up the phone, because David likes me, I know he's going to answer. I know I can mess with him. I can like mentally like F him. And because he is attracted to that of like that chase, and that's a guy thing. Guys always want to go for this chase. It's like, I know she's not attracted to me, but I want to get that girl because I want to tell myself that I'm able to get her. And on the girl's end, it's like, well, I can go do whatever the heck I want because I know he's always going to be there to pick up the phone when I call him. But that also can play a part of like, maybe she didn't have the best relationship with her parents or her dad. And like,
daddy issues.
That's a huge thing that girls deal with. Of like, they don't know what it looks like for a guy to plan dates and care for them and want to know that they're okay and want to let them feel heard and seen and care about them. That terrifies them, so they run the opposite direction. They don't know how to comfortably sit in that. So again, that also goes with immaturity of emotions. Like they don't know how to regulate their emotions.
So you think like most girls that I deal with are not there mature? Do you think like there's a point, like maybe after their college, that's when they get mature?
I strongly believe that relationships before college are pointless.
I'm saying like during college.
I think college is good to experiment and get to understand what you like, what you can mesh with, and what you don't like. And
Wait, can I say? Wait, oh no, you continue.
No, please.
Wait, I can't believe I just cut you off. Continue on.
No, please. You already did it.
Okay, in terms of college and dating in college, this is just my opinion. But if you really want to commit to a long-term thing, don't date someone who's like pre-med, pre-dental, Well, first of all, most people, and I'm thankful Angela's in, optometry school and whatever, but, most people that are pre-med, pre-dental are way too stressed, okay, pre-optometry, pre-whatever healthcare. They're way too stressed.
They want to kill themselves every 2 seconds, bro.
They're way too stressed.
It's sad.
Some of them are not even doing it for themselves, they're doing it for their parents.
Yeah,
those are like the mentally those are the ones you stay away from the most. Okay, they can't.
There's so much more embedded in that than you know.
And on top of that, unless you're ready to move with that person, it's just not gonna work. If you're dating a pre-dental girl or a pre-dental guy, and like
or somebody that's like MD and
or
years of schooling.
Yeah, or are you gonna move with them? What if they like get to med school?
They get matched somewhere
in
else.
like Texas or something, and then they get residency in like the armpit of Tennessee.
Oh my god.
Are you ready to make those two moves?
Yeah, that's a commitment.
Yeah.
Is that something or like, are you willing for them to go stay in that state and then you guys do long distance?
What I'm saying is don't date any pre-dental or pre-whatever unless you work from home. It's just not going to work unless you work from home.
Unless you also care enough about the individual and you have already built a foundation with them here and then you're able to do long distance. Because I also think that is also doable.
But like some jobs,
I have seen it firsthand that is also doable.
How long are you going to do long distance for?
I have a very easy example.
Okay, go ahead and give it.
My best friend.
Okay.
And that was horrendous for them. And you can vouch for that.
It was like 4 years.
Okay,
or 2 years.
that's what I'm
3
saying.
years?
They built a foundation.
How long was it?
That they were dating?
Long distance time.
Is that before or after they got married?
Before, because after they got married, it was like a few months.
I think they were together for 4 years, engaged for 1 year, and then the following year they were married.
But the long distance portion was like a year or two?
Yeah.
I think that's doable.
But they also had a foundation.
They did have a foundation, yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if you have a solid foundation of, like, your relationship, they were here for 3.5 years that they built that foundation. And then she went to a different state to do her doctorate. And he was here. And they were doing long distance.
But he did get accepted into med school, really far away.
Butt crack of nowhere.
And she's finding a job in that area now.
But they were separated. They were married. She was living in one state. He was living in a different state for like 4 or 5 months. And that is even during marriage. So it really depends on the foundation you have with the individual. Are you both willing to work towards that future together?
But just don't do it. Just don't do it.
That's all.
Okay, so what I want to hear your perspective about what Maryan said. Do you feel like that's accurate, or do you feel like it's hopeless?
I feel like it's really accurate in like people your age, like your generation. That's why I have this concept of your generation versus my generation, because all of my cousins, they're like around like their 20s, 30s. They're all girls. So when I talk to them, I see a level of maturity. I see their relationships, how they treat their husbands, their significant others, and then I just see like this level of like, oh, I have hope, right? But then you try to experience that for yourself. And then you see a whole different dynamic where I think social media plays a part where if you go wrong, there's a 20 other guys that are liking my story, DMing me, whatever. So I'm high on validations. You mess up, you're just gone. There's no understanding. There's no like this level where I can make mistakes too. It's you're done.
That also goes back to the girl that you're going after. Because a lot of guys now, because of social media, will only go for the girl that has looks.
Okay.
No one actually looks at what's behind the looks. And that's something that I've had to like deal with my entire life, is like people judge appearances based first than they do about the individual themselves. And it's like, I've had to deal with that for such a long time that it's like, I know the value that I hold. I know the character that I have. I know the heart that I have. I know I have great qualities and traits. It's just waiting on God to send me the right person to actually see these traits and value them and go past just what am I looking at. Because at the end of the day, like right now, social media is like, what does she look like? Beauty fades.
No, but I disagree with that, because you're saying the looks. Well, from my experience, I never dated a girl that's like really good looking.
And that's something I can take my hat off to you.
Yeah.
A lot of men in this generation are not like that.
I know, but at the same time, like
social
media ruined the girl's perspective of how she looks. So even if she doesn't look good, like she's not a 10 out of 10, right? But she's getting, everybody's saying she's a 10. You look at her comments, you have 50, 100 comments
Yeah,
saying,
bro.
gorgeous, pretty, you ate.
Then run
you
the
this.
other direction. She is not the girl for
No,
you.
that's
what I'm
every
saying.
girl though.
That's
You look
every
at the
girl
comment
now.
section, and all these girls are lying to each other. They're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
she's like, you ate.
Okay.
Oh my god, you're
No.
so beautiful. Oh
Are you
my
saying
God,
girls
you're
are commenting or guys are commenting?
No, I'm saying girls, but I'm saying what's happening is girls are high on validation. They're not. They might not be looking the best looking, but they feel like it. So if a guy comes in and I find you attractive,
Okay, I get what you're
now
talking
I'm
about.
under. You're above my. Now she thinks, oh, I'm above this guy's league when you're really not. So if I get you, she feels like she's settling down for you.
Then she's not humble. She's not humble.
But that's
She's
the
not
whole,
staying
but it's-
humble.
But that's the trend with.
I'm too funny.
I actually didn't catch that.
Very good.
That's perfect. She's not staying humble.
No, but I feel like when I talk to girls that are older, they understand that, and I was like,
That's what
wow.
That's what I'm telling you. The girls in your generation right now, they don't have the emotional maturity. They only care about superficial things. You're not going after a girl that has depth. That is, and like, she's so preoccupied by what she looks like, and like this generation, like I even had guy cousins be like, just go on a date with a guy because he can give you a free dinner, and it's like, ew.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's so low.
That's shitty.
That is not, and I know the character and the person that I am, I would never do that. He was like, why? You can go on a date every single day of the week and like, they'll just pay for your meal. And it's like, why am I going to waste my time?
What if it's Aikini sushi?
If it was Din Tai Fung, I'm kidding. I love Din Tai Fung, but I still wouldn't do it. I genuinely believe that the individual that you're going after, if they don't have humility and they don't have core values, they're not the right person for you. That is not even somebody that you should even bat your eye out.
Yeah.
So the rule is, if it's under 1,000 followers, then
No.
then it's a really good sign.
Bro, I have 1,400 followers and I am still humble as heck. Don't play with me.
Sorry, continue. I'll cut you off.
No, but it's true. Like, I feel like a lot of girls, yes, they do care about their image and what can a guy give me and all this kind of stuff, but it's like, who are they at their core? Because if they are not a good person at their core, you are not going to have a good future with them.
Okay.
That is something that, like, I wholeheartedly believe in. It's like, the person that they are at their core will always be that person. If they are selfless, if they are kind, if they are considerate of other people, if they're helpful, if they can listen to you, if they validate you, like these are all core things that will withhold you throughout years and years. That's why a lot of marriages end in divorce. People don't know why the hell they're getting married. It's like, yeah, she was just fine as hell and I just wanted to marry her. And it's like, okay, when she's 50, she's not gonna look like that. I mean, unless she gets plastic surgery, but
Well,
but
I think
it's
it's
like-
a little bit. I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that. I think people in America, especially, they find somebody, they develop a relationship with them, and it's really good in the beginning, and then they try to hold on to that romance aspect, but then they forget there's another 30 years left, and that like it's a relationship. So like you have to like.
people don't try anymore.
Yeah, they give
They
up and then they
give
just get
up.
divorced. That's the best thing about the Egyptian culture, I think.
Yes,
Is-
I
is like-
wholeheartedly agree.
Is that, but you could argue that the divorce doesn't happen because of
And yes.
the people and the shame that.
But
that
even going
results from
behind
it.
that, they're not happy. A lot of our parents' generation
Yeah.
are broken marriages.
Yeah.
Dude, I
If
think
we're
they were just
being
taught to,
very
like,
honest.
find
They-
someone and to
that's
breed, and
100%
that's it.
true.
It's not just breeding. It's like,
I also think that's the only way they gained independence.
yes, a lot. My aunt
Oh yeah.
my aunt got married at 19 because she wanted to get the hell out of my grandparents' house.
That's crazy.
And she, from a very young age, she was like, Tuta, do not do what I did. Like, I was 10, 11, and she was like, do not marry a man to get out of your parents' house. And that's being drilled in me. And I'm like, why the heck would I marry? Ew, men, what? And it's like, it wasn't until I got older where it's like, okay, I get it. A lot of girls really just married. So it's like, I don't have my father controlling and then they get into their marriage and their husband is controlling every piece of their life.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
And it's like, what the heck are you getting married for?
That's funny.
So it's like truly a lot of our parents' generations are not happy because they don't know what they're looking for going into a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of sad to think about it, that like all our marriages are broken. But you know what? It is what it is. There's good things about Egyptian culture and the marriages and bad parts.
I think it does show us a different side, though, of like, regardless of how bad it gets,
Yeah,
you
fight.
never stop trying.
That's true.
Because I think in Western society, everyone is like, the second that flame is out, it's like, okay, on to the next one. And it's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, you're not even going to try to fix it. And it's like, no, like, why should I? Like, I have another option waiting on the side. This isn't doing anything for me. Why am I even going to try anymore?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times the older Egyptian people are not trying.
They're not,
They're not trying at
because
all.
they don't even know what they're trying for.
They don't even know what trying is.
Exactly.
Dude, seriously.
They don't. They don't know, especially, oh my God, I'm sorry, but the men. The older generation of Egyptian men are so toxic.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why men in our society are the way that they are.
Excuse
No.
you. I'm not talking.
No.
Sorry, no. Excluding you guys.
American society? No.
Yeah,
American society?
Egyptian.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Egyptian society, yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, I feel like...
Wait, like us?
Yes.
Americanized?
Yes.
What did we do?
I will tell you.
We're chill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like, especially a lot of...
I baked my girlfriend desserts.
Okay, Nemo.
That's come on.
I'm excluding you
How
guys.
can you attack
I'm
Nemo's
talking
desserts?
about. I'm talking
Thank you.
about
Thank you.
the larger spectrum of the men.
Okay, what's wrong?
I'm
with
not
that?
being specific. I feel like because they have seen their dad be so mean and toxic and controlling with their mothers, they have learned that pattern and they pass it down into the way that they are moving into other relationships.
Dude, the Americanized guys too.
Yeah, they're also very toxic.
No.
No.
Not as much.
I don't know. You need to go to like a church where like
No.
there's more fobs. You can notice the difference.
Okay, but here's the thing. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Okay. Because I wanted to ask this question for a while.
Yeah, go for it.
How much emotion and how much should a guy open up in a relationship with a girl?
Transparency.
Full.
Transparency.
Full.
Yes.
I disagree with you. I think that's ridiculous.
Me too.
I think if you completely open up to a girl, she will lose respect for you, and she will not trust in you in a
Here is-
relationship. Wait. You know what? It's my turn to talk. Okay.
Go for
Let
it.
me talk about Egyptian.
It's fun.
No. Okay. In a relationship, women they will date guys because they are their boulder.
Yes.
To hold on to.
Yes.
They are their source of strength.
Yeah.
When everything's going haywire and they need someone to hold on to and to look to for guidance, they need a guy who can like figure things out and find a solution quick.
I agree.
And pick everything up and save them.
I agree.
Right? When you open up your emotions and tell a girl everything and like, you know, sometimes guys are like there's specific guys that are kind of like too emotional, right? I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about regular guys,
Yeah.
regular emotional regulation,
Yeah.
right? Every guy feels something, right? But expressing everything to a girl, I think that'll make her lose respect for you and will make her lose trust in the person that she's relying on.
I completely agree with you of women when looking for a future husband and like the father of their kids needs to be somebody that at the end of the day, like I can be fully blind and I know that you will lead me through darkness and through everything because I have that trust in you. And I respect you as a man. I think there is beauty in vulnerability. And I think men do not understand what that means. When a man is able to be transparent and vulnerable with a woman, it has so much strength in it. Because I know that at the end of the day, when you take off your armor walking through that house door, it's like we all have these inner children in us that are broken in some kind of way. At the end of the day, we want to be loved by the other person.
I think you're talking about it as if.
We're all dead.
But what I mean is like honestly, like
I think you're talking about it from like the perspective of an emotionally mature woman, because I do know a bunch of girls that have what David is saying, right?
Yeah.
You say these things and they freak out and like they feel like you are not the real man. You're not the real this or the real that.
yeah.
So, yeah, I've dealt with girls like on a personal level that are like that, David.
Yeah.
No,
When
but I'm
you're
not talking
speaking-
about the girls, dude.
I will
You
speak
guys
for
think
myself.
That it's the girl and not the guy here?
I will speak for myself. Like
Yeah.
I want it where it's
I
like
think it's the guy.
I want it where it's like my future husband knows that it's like he can be his most raw self, and I will still love him because at first the reason the girl is attracted to the guy is because I see that in you, that you can guide me, you can be that boulder for me, you can be that rock for me. But it's not fair that it's like I can be broken and I can be at my lowest point, but you're not allowed to do that either.
See, this is
I don't think that's fair.
I think that's so beautiful what you're saying, but I like that's actually true. Like
the
way you're if you're actually like that, or you are like that, like I think you're amazing for that. But for me, like I had one time when I was talking to a girl, we had like a relationship, right? Like, going to like 6 months, and then I get into like I get down. I say, you know what? I'm actually I felt like a little depressed, and I'm just I need some time to like process this. And then she looks at me. She's like, and I never forget this. She tells me, she said, I can't be with a man who like lets his emotions lead him. And I said,
that's wild.
I said, what do you mean? I said, I've always been tough, but I thought I can open up with you. We've been in this relationship for a long time.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and it ended like that. So I was like,
my heart literally right now is like hurting.
Yeah.
Because like I like truly wholeheartedly believe that it's like at the end of the day, if you are both not able to be 110% raw with each other, like that is so sacred that it's like, I know that I can be my most vulnerable self and I am not going to get judged. And I know my husband can be his most vulnerable self and he knows that he could show up that way and I will still care for you and I will still love you.
You know what? I wish that was true.
Yeah.
I still disagree with you. I'm on his side. I think that...
I'm on your guys' side too.
I don't think that as a man, you can reveal everything that you feel and all your emotions when something comes up, because it makes a woman lose faith in your strength. It's not possible, and I think you wish it was like that, but I don't think it is. And I've had so many experiences.
Yeah.
I've been in so many relationships where I was open and I did express how I felt.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out, and I could tell after I told them, I revealed to them how I truly felt, or I kind of opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
Right. Something changed, and they would pretend like nothing changed, and they would be like, "Oh no, like whatever." But I could tell, it completely switched up, right? And I was like, it's because I said too much.
I've literally experienced that in the past.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's true, and I wish people.
It was like that. I'm saying that's my perspective, because that's how I feel. Like
again, that's you coming from like this background where like we all need to be mentally healthy. We all need to be mentally
I think most people.
Easy for a therapist.
I think for me, it's like that foundation of, like, because I think the first step is like knowing, okay, is this a guy that like I can fall back on, and I know that he's a man, and I know that he has all these traits and these qualities and these things that I can lean on. Once that foundation is set, and I am like 110%, I know that is factual. Because I don't know if this is like girls that you're just talking to and you're just interested in, or it's like a full-blown like relationship. I am in love with this person and we have built a foundation and like they know who I am.
I mean, 6 months, is that not enough?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
6 months is a long time. Maybe my things were like whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Because my relationships haven't lasted long.
Okay, but your relationship was what? High school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no foundation in that.
But still, I still think that's a really true thing. And I've talked to a lot of girls.
If you have developed a love and a bond and something sacred and like whole with somebody, and that girl is looking towards like, okay, I see a future with you. I see that you can potentially be my husband and you can be the kid, like the father of my kids, without a doubt, like a shadow of a doubt. I know that like, especially I'm going to talk for myself. I know that like at the end of the day, if my husband is going through something and he is struggling and he feels that he cannot come to me and he can let down his armor and he can fall on me, I'm not doing my job as a wife.
We don't wear armor. We just wear clothes.
Shut up.
No, okay. I agree with you. I wish that was the case, but I think you could say some things obviously you can open up a little bit, right? Like if you come home, right? This is like a normal thing, right? You come home and you're pissed off. You're married to this girl, right? And then you just like look angry, right? Or you look pissed off, right? And she says, "What's wrong?" And then you say, "I had a really hard day at work today," right? And she says, "What happened?" And then you just explain the situation, and then she's like, "Do you need anything? Whatever."
Yeah.
Like, "No, I'm good. I just need some time to process it," right? Then you go in your room, and what you do is you call your friend, right? And let me ask you guys a question. What you tell your friend, will it be the same thing you tell your girlfriend? Or your wife, sorry?
No.
It's going to be completely different. It's going to be like, bro, this guy's been kicking my ass, bro. Like, this guy's like, blah, 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 blah. You're almost going to talk, like, maybe 80% of what a girl would talk when she talks to her friends or when she talks to anybody.
And then you know what happens on the phone call with the guy?
Yeah.
He gives you solutions and you accept them.
Yeah, you're like, bro, do this, this, and this.
Yeah, I accept them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
And it's different.
See,
and
but I'm talking about like true hard like.
I mean, in my experience, like I had in the past built a foundation with someone way longer than 6 months.
Yeah.
And if I were to express myself, it just wouldn't be the same for like for a few days at least. So yeah, I agree with them on that.
And you know what's crazy? Like our American Western society has been pushing this idea of we need to stop men's suicide, right? And the way we're gonna do that is guys need to open up more.
Yeah.
They need to talk more. They need to whatever, right? And that works on every front. You talk to your therapist, great. You talk to your priest, great. You talk to your parents, great. You talk to your best friends who are guys, great. Or girls, friends, great. You talk to your girlfriend, I don't think you should. You talk to your wife, I don't think you should. And I think it's because we're weak. Like, we're not raised in a way that allows us to be able to handle tough situations. And we bottle it up and we don't know how to deal with it. And that results in, like, suicide and not in despair.
Yeah.
And people need to ask, and I think guys need to open up, but I don't think opening up to your girlfriend or your wife is the move.
I think you will get to
And
a
I think
place.
it's controversial, but
I think you will get to a place where you're in a relationship with somebody that you truly love, David, and I think it will change.
I mean, I actually think I'm in that relationship now, but I still probably wouldn't do it.
Because I've had experiences where it's like, I think maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm just different. I really don't know. But like, once I'm able to set that foundation with a person of like, if they, like, I will not look at at my future husband any less if he like breaks down in front of me and starts crying. At all.
I think it depends about what though.
I also agree.
If your parents just die, or if one of your parents dies, like yeah, I'm gonna cry, like probably.
Yeah.
Right, and then I'm gonna like at that point I'm not gonna really care about what my wife thinks.
Yeah.
Or like my girlfriend. Well, I'm gonna care. I'm like, oh, I hope she's there to
You need
support
to-
me.
you need to fall
But
back
I'm not
on her,
gonna be
yeah.
like, oh my god, she might think I'm a loser, right? But like
No, I'm saying like if you are internally like insecurities or like something that you're fearful of or like anxieties or like something that is tearing you apart
that's
inside,
crazy.
I want you to be able to
No,
come and talk to me about.
That's crazy.
I think that yes,
No.
talking to your boys will have a different perspective, but it's like if you are mentally in here and it's like really messing with you, and I'm supposed to be. This is another controversial topic that I really like hold on to. It's like,
Let's get into it.
is your significant other your best friend?
Oh.
To some
Dude.
extent, they should be.
Exactly.
I have my perspective, but I want to hear you guys'. What do you
Yeah,
think?
But I
I
feel
think
like what
so,
you were saying, that's the psychiatrist in you.
Yeah, I'm a huge.
But I feel like the average girl would not think like you. That's what I think. Like they'll just see me as weak, as vulnerable. I can't.
I will say this. I will say not maybe like what you were saying, like the example of like I just had a really hard day at work, and it's like, okay, Mishi, like maybe you don't need to disclose that to me. It's like go talk to your boys. If that's gonna help you, then so be it. I'm saying like true like internal like childhood trauma, stuff that is going to come out later in life, and like
I think
you're battling that by yourself.
No, okay. Like, here's the thing, right? If there's something my wife needs to know, like, I'm like, she says, like, what, like, if there's this recurring issue, right? Let's say I keep projecting a certain attitude or behavior towards her, and she's like, dude, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
Right? I'll be like, look, I was going through some things when I was younger, and I need to figure it out. That's probably what I would say, right? That's probably what I would say. And I
'Cause
wouldn't
that
be
is
like,
going to-
I wouldn't be like, oh, my therapist told me that, like,
No.
when I was younger, my parents did this and this and this, and now I have trust issues, and so oh, I don't think I could, like, I don't know, that's maybe why you're experiencing
know
trust
how
issues in a
amazing-
relationship. Maybe we
Do
shouldn't
you
be
know how
together.
amazing?
Like, what?
Do you know how amazing that transparency? Because like context, it's like okay, A plus B
The
equals
girl's gonna
C.
end up saying, why am I with a guy who has trust issues?
She has her own stuff that she's dealing with. What do you mean?
No, it's different. It's
Nah,
different,
bro.
dude. It's
Nah.
definitely different.
Nah.
I wish that was the case. If you're describing it, I wish.
I'm
that was the
sorry,
case.
but
It's
like
not like that. And I
maybe
don't
that's
think-
just how my brain works. But like
Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, it's you.
that's crazy.
You're in the mental health field. You know what's supposed to be done, so you do it. But the other,
Yeah, but
you
this
know,
is stuff that I
other
felt
people
when
out
I
there
was
don't know
younger.
that.
Like my parents instilled in me at a very young age, like the trait of being selfless. Like from a very, very, very young age, I did not know what happiness meant. Like I genuinely thought my purpose on earth was to help other people find their happiness, but like happiness was not meant for me. And that's very transparent. And like I had to get to a point in life where it's like, okay, no, God of course wants me to be happy. Like, what do you mean I'm not supposed to be happy in life? But because I was like, I don't want to say programmed, but because I was taught that it's like, whatever you do, you put the other person above yourself, really put me in this mind frame of like, how can I show up for somebody else? And like, it's gotten to the point where it's like, I am so overly considerate of other people. It's like, if I have to go 15, 20 minutes out of my way to go get something because I know somebody likes it, I'm going to do it. Like if I'm able to put a smile on somebody's face because, oh my gosh, I saw something in the store that I know that David liked and he likes SpongeBob and it's like, oh, like let me just get this if I'm able to. Because that's just how I was taught. So it's like putting that into my own relationship of like, I will go above and beyond. And it's like, I know I have my own stuff that I'm dealing with and I'm trying to figure out. And it's like, why is it fair for me to figure it out and deal with it, but it's not fair for me to sit with the other person to like talk it out and to understand it? And it's like, if you have a trauma that has happened from a young age and it's bleeding into our relationship, it's like, give me context. Like that is the whole point of like, let me in. If you guys always have this door closed of like, no, you are not coming in. It's like, how the frick do I actually know who you are?
I think like
I don't
a one
see
or
it like
two
that.
sentence could fix it. I don't think you need to like give the whole entire life story.
Yeah, I don't see it like that. And thank you for sharing, because that was really transparent and like, that's like really deep.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that you do that, and I really respect that. I wish a lot of girls were like you.
Thanks.
But I don't think. Back to the question of, like, why won't you let me in?
Yeah.
I don't see it that way. I see it as the guy is supposed to be like a, like someone that can be like people can rely on.
Yeah.
Okay? And man, I can't form my thoughts here. I lost what I was
It's okay. Just think about it. He was going to say something.
I was saying what you were saying of you're being collective and putting someone else's needs
Yeah.
above yours.
Yeah.
But I think in Western society where everybody's like thinking about themselves,
Yep.
me.
Yep.
I think now in relationships it's about me. How are you making
Benefiting
me?
me.
Happy? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think girls are thinking that way, like, oh, how come you're not taking me out there? You're not buying
Yeah.
me this. I feel relationships are not like 50-50. I feel, but this is.
I don't think relationships are, sorry, hot
They're
take,
not
relationship are not supposed to be 50-50.
Okay.
It is supposed to be 100-100.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's crazy.
That's such a therapy
I
answer.
swear. You know
That's such a
why?
therapy
You know
answer,
what?
bro.
Because if I can't show up as 100 and I show up and I can only give you 20%.
100 doesn't add up to 100.
If I
Adds
only
up to 200, bro.
Isma.
That's not how it works.
Isma,
It could be ratios.
if I show up as
100
20,
to 100, that works.
if I show up as I'm dead.
It's actually, yeah.
If I show up and I'm like,
1-1.
I had
1-1, yeah.
I had the hardest day, I had the hardest clients, I am like so drained, I only have 20% to give you right now. And he's like, okay, I had a pretty decent day, I can give you the 80%. When you get married with another person, you are coming in 100. You guys are both one. So it's like, if I'm lacking in something and I don't have the emotional capacity today, I need you to step up for me. I need you to be the other 80% that I can lean on.
I mean, I can cook dinner. I can do the dishes. I can do the laundry.
Whatever it
I can
is.
sit there and listen to everything that you have to say
Yeah.
and make you feel validated and
Yeah.
stuff. But I'm not going to open up.
That's another barbaric beast that you need to.
It's just not happening. I don't think it's the way to go. And you know what? I was watching a video by a priest, and he's a Greek Orthodox priest. His name is Father Moses.
Oh, Father Moses.
Yeah, I love him, bro.
Yeah, I
He's
watch
so
him
cool.
all the time.
He said this. He said, your wife is not supposed to be your best friend.
Really?
Yeah. He said, your best friend, when you need a best friend, you call your one person that you really trust, a guy, you call him, and you ask them for advice. Your wife's not supposed to be your best friend. Your wife is supposed to be someone that you take care for, that you show strength, that you show emotional maturity to, that you're like the rock for them. And so that kind of confirmed to me, or not confirmed, but it strengthened my opinion that I don't think guys should fully open up. But yeah. It's okay. We beat this topic with a dead horse. We can move on if you want.
I don't mind. I enjoy it.
I like to move on to like this topic. Okay, for like guys like me or like my friends watching.
Yeah.
They're all in college, like my age, freshman, sophomore years. If they're thinking about a relationship, right, or how to talk to girls. Yeah. What should they do? Because nowadays, what we think is, like the texting game. If she doesn't respond in 4 hours, I'm not responding for hours. If she takes this time,
that's so petty.
It's like
I think that is game. I think it's the most childish thing to do.
What guys should do is just not open up, like David said.
Shut up. I honestly think that shows so much like childlike behavior. And if a girl, like from the get-go, like if you are so transparent, it's like, hey, if I'm being honest, this could be different though, because I'm at a different phase in my life where it's like I'm a lot more older. I don't care for games, and it's like if you are transparent with me, and it's like, okay, I don't have time to waste. I think you are at a larger, like younger point in your life where it's like you have the time to like experience and mingle. مش عارفة إيه. I think just being very straightforward, and it's like if she entertains it, then she entertains it. If she doesn't, then
I think you should just forget about dating. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think you should just forget about dating until like you have a good career. The girls that you're dating are over 23.
Yeah.
Because I experienced where it ruins everything when you I think girls like wasting your time where they want to do everything as friends, no label.
Girls love attention.
Exactly.
We love attention. It's all about me. So, we are little narcissists. We are. Sorry. Okay. But we are. We love attention. And if you are just another number in her phone and she's just like, who's going to give me attention today? It's like, who's on the list? It's like, why entertain it?
Yeah. Do you think the chase would still be a thing? Because
with men or with women?
No, with men. I mean, not like the chase isn't like the girl isn't responding or the girl isn't like,
Wait, can I cut you right there?
Yeah.
Because you said that. I wholeheartedly think because when I was immature, I used to do this of like, oh my God, he just messaged me. I have to wait 10 minutes. I can't seem desperate. Oh my God, I cringe at myself that I used to do that. I think it's the dumbest thing ever.
But it's true.
It's so stupid.
But it's true though.
It's like
if I text a girl, bro, and she texts me back in a second, I'm like, okay. And then I text back. And
no, that just means she's serious about actually pursuing something.
But if I text back in like 2 hours, right? And then, because I'm busy. Yeah. I'm working.
Be transparent.
I'm working. She takes back in a minute. I'm like, all right.
No.
That's kind of weird, bro.
Here's the thing.
No, she's free.
That's too much.
She's free. Yeah, Estenda, if she's free. If my dad is like, go to school. You don't have to work. I have all the time in the world. I'm on my phone. If I'm on Instagram, and how much more upset would you be if you texted her 2 hours ago, ما ردتش عليك, and you see that she's active on social media?
I probably wouldn't notice. I don't even check my text.
Okay, but you're at a different phase in your life. I'm saying him.
Oh, him, yeah, my bad. I mean, it's not me, my bad.
I text her, like, it is like, you're like delivered for 8 hours, then she posts an Instagram story like, hey.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's so petty. Like, if she has the ability to, like, respond ala tool, it's like, okay, she's interested. And, like, be very, like, upfront. It's like, hey, I want to see if this can go anywhere. Are you down? Are you not down? Yes, no. She says no. Okay, thank you so much for your honesty. If she ghosts you, that is the first sign that she is not for you. Take it as a sign, and
She's like DJ Khaled.
It is a blessing
like,
from God.
On Snapchat like DJ Khaled like every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Another one.
Okay, so I was talking with one of my girlfriends, like girls that I'm really
Female friends, yeah.
Female friends I'm really good with, I'm friends with. So I was talking to her about my girl problems and things like that, which is, I feel like that you shouldn't do that, but I was like, yeah, whatever, you're really cool, so why not? So I was talking with her and she told me that don't be forward with girls. She told me that it's better for you to be friendly with everyone, and just be friendly, and then if one girl really entertains it, just see where it goes, but never be forward. Because what happened is when I was forward with someone, and I say, you know what, I like you, you want to like go on a date, whatever. Even though she was interested, and even though we were like in a talking stage for a long time, once you put that out, she goes talking to her friends, and then she ruins
That is the most dangerous thing.
She ruins
the group chat. Oh my god.
She ruins like the club dynamic, right? If you're like in a school setting where everybody knows you too,
I get what you mean.
You're around the same like group, it destroys the group. I can't show up.
It just makes it so awkward.
Yeah.
So you can show up. You have free will. Just show up.
It's your choice. Just show up.
Just show up.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, I can understand that too, especially like at your age. I believe that they definitely do. Men and women sometimes get scared of the title. Some women crave it though. Like some girls are just like, I want to be in a relationship just to say I'm in a relationship. Like a lot of girls do it for the wrong reasons. And I think a lot of guys just want arm candy sometimes. But I think that, I have to think about like when I was at that stage in my life of like.
Well, you think? I want to hear Nemo's perspective.
Yeah.
What do you think you should do?
I've always thought that do your best, but don't do your best.
I feel like you're pretty like forward.
Yeah. I think do your best unless there's no reason to. So in terms of the chase or like, doing your best with a particular girl, do that. But the second she says no, move on.
Yeah.
Don't try anymore.
Don't dwell on it.
But why do they make it awkward though? Like
no, it doesn't make it awkward.
No, they make it awkward. Or
let them.
Yeah,
no, it's like I was like, you rejected me. Okay, cool. But how come now every time I walk around, you have to give me a look? How come you have to like talk behind my back? Just let it go.
She's not. That's the thing, though. That's what you think.
What have you gone through?
Too much.
Are you okay?
No, honestly, she's not talking crap. She's just like, oh my god, like he likes me.
But
like it's such like a. Sometimes it's a compliment to a girl.
It's like that.
Bro,
it's so annoying.
I
remember that when that happened in like high school.
This with one girl got so bad I blocked her on like Insta messaging whatever, because every time she would see me like some bad stuff went wrong between us, and then one time I brought my cousin to church with me, and she's like, why? And then she texted me right after. She's like, why was the girl in your car? I was like, what are you even texting me? We're not even in a relationship. So it's so weird. It's
That's
ridiculous.
very interesting.
Like,
yeah, I've struggled with the whole attention seeking type of girl.
Yeah.
I think my problem is that like that's like my favorite type of girl. Like that's
it's
like,
rough though.
Like I mean, but to be honest with you, like I haven't tried to date an attention seeking type of girl in a while. But when I did, it was a disaster. And like I think it's because like I love that chase. Like I love that chase.
Okay, but
and
a chase is something, and dating a girl that's attention seeking is something else.
Like, I don't know the difference. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know the difference. The only girls that I'm attracted to are the attention seeking ones.
That's so interesting.
I know. Can you diagnose me right now?
Do you think it's because you also crave the attention?
Maybe.
Because you love being the center of attention.
Okay.
Sorry.
That
But you
that
do.
was way too personal. I'm just kidding.
You do though.
I do,
like
I do.
you love making people laugh. You love making random like comments at people.
Yeah.
We literally went to go get pizza the other day, and you were like, "Hey guys, you guys like my fade?" It's like to the most random people, and it's like, David, they don't even know you, bro.
Dude, it was a nice face.
But exactly, that's what
It
I'm
was a nice
saying.
fade.
Thank you.
Like maybe that's why that attracts you to like, because then both of you guys can like, it's not uncomfortable for her. That it's like if you
I don't
also
think so.
get attention from people, like I also like getting people's attention, so maybe she's not gonna feel some type of way. I'm just thinking about it like in a broad kind of. I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah. I see that. But yeah, there was like what I was gonna say.
while you think about that, This okay.
I think about that.
He's like, why you pause?
Okay, so, since you're you can tell me a lot about psychology and things like that. So I was talking to one of my older friends. He's 28, I think. So he told me this really like trick, and it works. He said, if you want to get a girl every single time, do this trick. He said 2 compliments above the neck.
Yeah, you talk about the body, bro.
Listen, he said 2
like,
compliments above the neck. He said,
yeah.
You have pretty eyes, nice
Yeah.
lips, whatever. And then
Even the lips, I think, is
then-
weird. Please don't compliment my
something,
lips.
Something he said something like that.
If you say you have a pretty face
Yeah.
and you have nice eyes,
Nice cheekbones.
Yeah.
your eyebrows on fleek. That's it.
And
it's
then-
like, wow, he notices.
Yeah, and then after you do that, one big insult. Big nose.
Insult?
Oh
Yeah,
my
he
God.
said
La, la, la,
once
la,
you
la.
do no, he says once you do that,
No.
it shows the girl. Not he said
It's like a sense of humor type of
a
thing.
sense of humor type thing. It makes the girl feel like you don't care as much. But if she's attracted and you show that level of attraction but not caring at the same time, she likes you.
That is not, no.
Bro, let me save
I'm
you.
sorry.
No. Let me save you a lot of energy, bro. Like all that kind of stuff, like the tips and tricks stuff, it's all BS. Like
If
it's
I
all,
got a
it goes
random
away, bro.
DM from a guy and he was like, you have the most beautiful eyes,
It
but you
works,
got a
though.
big ass head. And I'm like, what? I'll be like, I'm not even going to entertain this message. What?
For real?
No.
No,
Dude, that's
You
what
just
I'm saying.
insulted me, and it's like, I don't even know you.
Bro, it works.
Who
It
yeah.
works in the short term type of like gymnastics of like trying to attract a girl in like. The
Let her jump
quickest
through my
way.
hoop, and it's like,
YouTube
nah,
tips,
bro.
3 tips.
No,
to,
it-
and
it-
like,
Does the guy have a girlfriend?
What?
Does the guy have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did it work for
Maybe
him?
It works for him, yeah.
But I'm saying it worked for me too, right? Because like now that I don't
Did
have
you
a-
try that?
I tried it, but
And it worked?
I didn't get a girlfriend, but I got her number, and then like I got her Insta, and then we're DMing like every, we were DMing for like days, and now we DMing like we check up on each other, and then that's it, and then
So are you guys
So
just
did it
casual friends, or are you guys like
So now-
pursuing something?
so now we're just friends. So I guess
It didn't work for you,
So it
buddy.
didn't work,
It
dog.
did not.
But then, I mean,
It built a friendship, and
Yeah.
honestly, so going back to the segue to like best friends, the reason I was saying that is because for me, like the way I think about it is like your significant other should be your best friend, because traits and qualities that you like want in a spouse is also something you want in a best friend. Like I want somebody I can joke around with. I want somebody that I can trust. I want somebody that is kind. I want somebody that I can be goofy with and they're not going to make fun of me. I want, like, these are all traits that you want in a best friend. Like, I'm thinking about my best friend and I'm like, I know I can be so mean to her. And at the end of the day, like, she's going to be mean back, but I know she loves me.
I just texted Angela, I love your hair and eyebrows, but your nostrils, eh. And she just replied with a what? And then I said, yeah. And she's replying right now. Let's see if your method's going to work.
Oh, you said, eh.
She said the laser will never reach the inside of my nose, bro. Because we were talking about like laser hair removal.
yeah, it works because they take it as humor.
Okay, but he's been dating her for
dating her.
for a while. Like, she knows his sense of humor. That's different.
No, I think it works, but like not really.
If a random, I'm telling you, if a random
It
guy
depends on the girl,
messaged
bro.
me,
It's the best personality of the girl.
There's
it
no
could,
message,
it could.
I mean, you're in person.
This is in person?
Yeah, in person. You don't just.
Hey,
message
honestly,
them.
dude, that's respect. For doing,
That's
I
a-
don't think-
that's a
I don't think
level
it
of
works. I
confidence.
don't think it works, but it's confidence.
That is a
Balls, I
level of
respect it.
confidence.
No.
I don't think it works.
They the girl that I worked on, technically, she thought it was funny, and then she's like, "Yeah, that's
But you
that's the
didn't
funniest
go on.
thing."
You didn't go on a date with her.
Yeah, I didn't, but
Okay, it didn't work.
yeah, I guess.
I respect that. Respect.
Okay, just
That's confidence, though.
just do the 2 compliments and just move on.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then- and then
compliments
do
are
the
your
insult
best
when you're-
friend.
when you're closer to her. Yeah.
If that's one thing I can, if you want a tip, compliments are your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
If you shower a girl with compliments,
It's too much.
No.
And jokes.
No.
No, I
Wait,
think
is
it's
that?
laughter.
Yes.
No. There's no
Laugh.
way
No,
that
no,
it gets
no.
too much.
Yeah.
There's
That's cap.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm saying in a relationship.
That's cap,
For real?
bro.
In a relationship, like,
I
shower
think
her with
pre-relationship
compliments.
Is jokes.
Yes.
Making her laugh.
If you are
Which
able
I'm
to
very
make a
good
girl
at.
laugh, you have it in the bag.
Yeah.
If you are able to, like, if I can sit there and I can be stupid with you for like hours, done deal.
You're done.
Obviously you need other characteristics, but that is a solid thing. Because I know, like, in the long run, it's like I can literally just like joke around with him and it's not gonna be weird. Or like we can, especially if you guys have the same sense of humor. Similar sense of humor is like
That's
Okay, so
It's
when I insult
yeah.
Angela, which insults should I go for?
Angela's beautiful,
Oh,
so
okay.
I would not insult Angela.
Wait, so would you hit a guy that's like clingy in a way, or like a guy like that loves being around you?
I have a I love when a man is obsessed with me.
Oh my.
I
See,
bro,
like, everything
love
you're
it.
saying,
You're
it's
either
right.
really abnormal.
Yeah, you're
or
abnormal.
you're
There's
normal.
no way.
I don't know which one it is.
love, but I'm again. This is at a place in my life where it's like I want my significant other to be all about me. I love that. Like
that's
like
crazy, bro.
no, but it's like not like the like psycho like where are you? Where are you going? Where are you coming? Not that. I want it where it's like I just want to see you. Like
I think a lot of older girls are like that. You guys might be dealing with
I
girls that are
think-
younger.
Don't
and
say
more
you
Yeah.
guys, okay?
Excuse me?
A lot of older girls slash
I agree with you, yeah.
emotionally mature girls.
Thank you very much for correcting yourself.
So yeah, older girls.
So if we break this down,
Tosifik.
like girls that are younger than like 23, like you said, they're gonna be playing those games.
Yes.
But once
Probably, most
once
of
a girl
Yes.
is
If a girl is
above 23.
graduated from college or almost graduated from college, knows what she wants to do with her career, knows what she wants to do in life, is in a stage in her life where she's moving towards the future,
Wait, that's
completely-
not, that's
completely
not
different.
what I'm
One's in
saying.
college. One's in
Completely
college,
different
okay? Okay, just make sure they're under 1,000 followers. Okay.
No,
their
David.
dad is in the house. Okay, he's present. They
Yes.
have a good relationship with their dad.
That is a huge thing. If a
Okay.
girl has a solid foundation and relationship with her dad, that is money bucks for you.
And then
Because that will also bleed into your relationship.
and
Sorry,
then
David.
she is emotionally insecure.
Okay.
And then
Emotionally
those are the goals.
insecure?
Emotionally secure.
Oh, I heard insecure.
Yeah, I think you said insecure.
No,
I
said
was like,
secure.
no,
I said
no, don't do that.
I do think that like the age thing doesn't matter because I know girls that are like a little older, right, and they're not emotionally mature. I think it's when they're ready to like move forward, like she was saying.
They have their stuff together.
Yeah, like
And
they
they
know what
and
they
they
want,
yeah, they
whatever.
know what they want. When a girl truly knows what she wants, it's a completely game. It's a completely different game.
I also think values are the most important things, like
Values
sharing
and
similar
morals,
values.
yeah.
I think it's more important than like being similar. I think it's more important than
Yeah, I
like.
agree.
That's a foundation.
Yeah.
That's a foundational thing.
Like
Like
it's
if
best to date an Egyptian or a Mexican.
No, okay, that's what I want to go into, right? So, I think Egyptians in general, like what I've been describing, like you can't date them, until they're above 23. You just don't talk to them. But it's so much easier to talk to girls that are not Egyptian, and they want
because
to,
they have the freedom to.
no, but they I think they're just grown up with the idea that it's okay to like have a boyfriend or it's okay to be a girlfriend. But if you're Egyptian, you grew up, but that's a big no-no. So I think that plays into it. But there's girls that they're not Egyptian that I really liked, and I was really attracted to, and they are telling me like, let's like take me out, like
Yeah.
what's going on, and I'm just like, yeah, you're not Coptic, you're not Christian.
So that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like that's something else that like people don't take into consideration. It's like again, here's the double standard. It's like it's so much easier for men to experiment and like, yeah, if I want to date this Hispanic girl for 2 years, I know I don't have a future with her, but I have experience under my belt and I know what I like and what I don't like. It's not the same thing for
is that?
You
girls.
can have a future with a Hispanic girl.
Yeah, why
You
not?
can. No, because
I will.
okay.
She was pointing out what I
I'm
said,
saying
yeah.
I'm saying he literally said you're not Coptic, like
Oh,
we don't have
sorry.
a future.
But that's your free will, okay?
Yeah, I'm saying it's
Just go date her.
Yeah.
If you guys have the similar values and whatever, it's up to you what religion you guys will end up with in the future. Now, you saying she's not Coptic, she's not Coptic dad, that's just what your
I think
Preference.
parents told you to
But
do.
no, but it's a it might be a preference for him too.
Yeah, which
I
is
know
fine. Which is
I know a
fine.
lot of guys that it's like if she's not Egyptian, she's not Coptic, I'm not wasting my time
I think
on
that
that.
preference is okay.
Yeah.
But if you're okay with leaving that
Yeah,
preference.
yeah, it's your choice.
I once went to my father's confession. I complained to him. I was like, I can't stand these Coptic girls anymore. I don't like this. It's way easier, talking to the girls at school. Can I just, switch into the Catholic world? And he said it was fine. It's just, yeah. I mean, do you feel like you sometimes want to leave the Coptic world for dating?
Yeah, I was
Sorry, David.
Leave it.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel,
Hariswit.
But I was
leave
like,
it. It's up to him.
I agree.
That's
Salute.
what I was thinking too.
I
Because
agree,
like,
bro.
I especially those like Eastern Orthodox girls. Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
forget,
sold. I'm
forget about it. No, but yeah, I mean, for my thing, it's like it's not really it's not about race anymore. It's about values and family, and if they
Morals.
they are Christian,
Morals.
they have to be Christian or at least grew up Christian.
yeah.
So I don't think it's about race anymore. I kind of want to date like an Asian girl or like That's pretty cool. I think that's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
They have such different cultures. Like it's so unique. And,
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I'm tired of Egyptians, honestly. No offense.
Dude, I was
No,
tired
not
of Egyptians for a
taken.
while
You
too.
look like you got offended.
No, it's not. It's not.
Sometimes it works.
No, that's your
So,
preference.
like,
I don't.
So for all our viewers that are watching, you know,
Mm-hmm.
don't talk to Egyptian unless they're 23.
If there's one thing you can take from this. But but here's the other thing. That's the double standard. Guys have that freedom to do that. Girls do not.
Oh my goodness. Are we gonna talk about free will right now?
Do you want us to fight?
We're not gonna fight.
Do you
It's just a
want us to
discussion.
I want
fight?
you guys to talk about whatever you want to talk. I mean, I actually have my own take about free will. I'm interested to see what you guys think.
Okay, so, if a girl wants to maybe experiment and leave the Egyptian world, she thinks men are toxic. She thinks Egyptian men are toxic. Egyptian men are trash. Egyptian men are just like her dad that came from like Saudi or something. Not Saudi, sorry, Saudi.
Rough.
Okay. Why can't she? It's only because in her own head she thinks if I go for like this Korean guy that I have a crush on, it's not gonna work out, or my mom's gonna say no, or my dad's gonna say no, right? Is that how you feel, or how do you feel about it? Because you're saying there's a double standard, but where's the double standard in that?
Okay, I think maybe the double standard where like, I don't want to say this, but like, would you be looked at as like a hoe or like a slut or something like that if you're like experimenting with all these other guys?
Is that no?
But that's what you mean by double standard, right? Like a girl would be like, oh, she's a hoe. She's with so much other guys.
No, maybe. Are you talking about like treatment from parents, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm saying like.
But both plays into it.
So
right?
I agree with you. There is a double standard. No, I think we're talking like doing a reasonable thing. Right? Like that's reasonable.
I don't know what's going on right now.
Okay, which scenario do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about a scenario or just like a thing?
I'm saying just double standard. Like I feel like
I
it's
think
a
there are
lot.
double standards, yeah.
I feel like it's a lot easier for a guy to pursue a girl outside of the culture than it is for girls too.
So I agree with that.
Like girls, like if a girl comes home and she goes to her very traditional parents of like, I want to date a Mexican guy, or I want to date a black guy, or I want to date an Asian guy. He's like, yeah, mama, no, you're not.
Okay, so I agree with you.
Like there, and then if a guy brings home like a Hispanic girl, he's like, does she have a sister? Like,
okay, I agree.
like
So,
there's so much double standard in that, and it's like, okay, like I've had so many like family friends be like, would you rather your daughter be with like a Hispanic guy or an Asian guy that like treats her like a princess and takes care of her and is a really good guy, or would you rather her marry like an Egyptian guy that abuses her and like treats her so poorly and does all this? And they're like, absolutely, like no, like we're staying traditional.
So I agree with you that there is a double standard in like the dating world for girls, at least in the Egyptian world, right? The dating world for girls, what time they can come home, whatever,
Did he bring
right?
mine?
You got one?
Yeah, I texted him. Can you ask him?
Maybe this is yours. Wait, is this Maryan's or mine?
You get a cup. Just get a cup and like split it.
I don't want it.
I don't like
I
boba.
just want a couple sips.
I don't like boba
So why'd you ask for it?
because I wanted just the tea. I didn't want the boba in it. I don't like boba.
Be careful your computer. So Maryan,
Did he get me the? Which one is it?
That is so good. Sorry, guys.
what did you get?
Taro.
Oh, taro. Wow, I haven't had taro bowl in a while. I miss
Is this
taro.
green? Are the bobas green?
Okay, what I miss?
Oh, we're talking about double standards.
Double standard. Yeah.
But going back to double standards, Maryan. Right, your parents want you, we'll say, to date an Egyptian guy, but you find the perfect Asian guy, okay?
Yeah.
And you know what? He knows how to make your taro bubble milk tea. What is stopping you from dating him besides what is mom and dad gonna think?
I think that carries so much weight on my mind because of how.
So that's a you thing, right?
Dang it! Got no boba in that.
That's okay, I don't want any boba. Oh, you're trying to get rid of it?
Why don't you just have the glass cup and he takes the plastic cup?
Start having.
No, that's hers.
He can have
It's
the
hers.
boba.
It's hers. Okay.
Bro.
See, you can't open up. You open up and they give you that look. They give you this look.
So funny. Continue, please.
Yeah, but
Me?
for the double standards, like I agree with you. But what do you think for girls, like in society in general, like why they can't date? You think because what I said before?
Yeah.
They'll be viewed as.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
if she has more than like 4 guys on her roster, under her belt, it's like you are automatically a hoe.
So you think that's why girls are...
Whoa.
Even in the Coptic world, I feel like the dating circle is so small that you have to like just accept it.
Can we backtrack real quick?
Yeah. What you
Girl has
missed?
4 guys on her roster. She's a hoe.
Under her belt.
Like under her belt. What do you mean?
Experience.
four
Like she's
guys.
experienced 4 guys.
Like you believe that?
Yeah, that's the double standard.
I don't agree with that.
That's wild.
I feel like a lot of girls get that stigma, especially in our culture of
Wait,
like,
no, you believe that though?
yeah. Oh
You
no, like
believe
I
that?
believe that like girl. No. I'm sorry. No. That's. I believe that is a double standard,
Oh, okay.
or that is like a stigma that happens. Sorry, no, I didn't process your question. No,
I
I.
clip that and say that you believe it.
That was also something one of my friends told me today. She was like, with these podcasts, like they really be clipping these videos and like making the context look different. I was like, well, I know the guy that I'm having the interview with, so if he tries something,
We'll see how you know.
I'm gonna square up with him. I was like, try me, bro. But no, I don't believe that that's correct. I think even now, like a lot of our
Look, I dislike double standards, Maryan. But I think it goes back to the illness thing, right?
oh yeah, for sure.
So, if you feel like you're gonna get judged for dating a guy of a different like race or ethnicity or whatever, or you're like 30, so you've obviously dated a bunch of guys, right? And we'll say that you're dating like you're on like your like 11th guy, and you think to yourself, if you're 30, that might be a thing.
Oh.
If we're gonna count like high school guys, right? And you think to yourself like, maybe I shouldn't date anymore because like, what are people gonna think about me? That's that's just an illness thing.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing, right? Like if a girl or a guy says, "Oh, I can't date this person or that person," only because my parents are not gonna like that, just move forward, do it.
I think it's so much easier said than done. I think it's so.
No. It's easier.
It's gonna go back to it's your choice and it's your free
choice.
will. ومش عارف إيه, and
Is it not?
Nemo, it's so rough.
I'm not saying it's hard or easy. Is it your free will? Yes or no?
Yes, you do
Okay,
have free will.
So then if you really like that person, you will do your best to move forward with that person.
I think the difference is with
David's saying no. Wait, sorry. You speak then, David, because you spoke first. Go ahead.
No, I'm fighting with you right now.
Oh, okay.
I have an opinion about this, but I want to hear your thoughts.
I think it's hard. I will speak from my own experience, so I don't like give an opinion for like the whole. I think because I have a really close relationship with my parents, it makes it harder to go against. Like there's this like gut feeling of like do whatever you can to not disappoint your parents. And it's like I know
Even if you're gonna disappoint yourself?
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out in therapy, and I'm trying to
Even if you're gonna disappoint yourself for life?
Ooh.
That was what I was telling him.
Your parents are
before
gonna,
when you walked out, I was telling him like I've had people before be like, "Would you want your daughter to marry like a Hispanic or like an Asian guy that treats your daughter like a princess and a queen and like weighs on her hand and foot and like really treats her well, or would you rather him just marry like an Egyptian guy because you want her to be with an Egyptian guy?"
And dude, not to be mean or
and
anything.
they couldn't what are you supposed to say to that? Like, how do you respond to that?
You were asking someone.
Somebody asked my parents that.
Oh.
And like I felt like my parents were cornered of like, oh, what do we say right now?
You say what's logical. Your parents should say what's logical. She dates the guy that makes her feel happy.
Yeah.
Now,
but truthfully, do you think our parents?
They would never say that.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? My parents would say that.
My
parents would say that.
Would they say that about your sisters?
Yeah, they would.
Would
they?
Would
say, look, as long as he's a good guy, he comes from a good family, and he's Christian, then it's okay.
Do you have sisters?
I have one sister, yeah.
Would your parents say that about your sister?
I don't think so. But she's like 10 years old, so it's like she's.
I'm saying like your sister when God willing when she gets to that point of like pursuing somebody and like wants to get married, do you think your parents would be open-minded to exploring outside of the Egyptian culture? And be like, if he's Ragil Tayyib and...
I think before like my cousins like married outside the culture, they would have been 100% no, but now they're iffy about it. But they still would like.
Do they have
no.
judgment towards your cousin of like, is they allowed him or her to marry outside of the culture?
I think everybody was like that at first, but then once they saw like they were baptized, like, oh, that's okay. Yeah.
But I think
so you have to get converted.
Was it a guy?
Baptized.
Was it a guy that got married to a?
Yeah, that was a guy.
I think his sister being 10 though, like I'm assuming she grew up here.
Yeah.
So she's very American. She's gonna grow up very Americanized. Maybe she won't care too much. Maybe by the time she's like 20 or 20 something, the parents have lived here for long enough to like just.
My dad was here since he was 4.
But like Maryan, like
my dad was here when he was 4, and my mom came when she was 22.
But like, if it's something that truly makes you happy, right? Like, no offense.
And still, it's like
all of our parents are gonna die in like 20 to 30 years.
God forbid, but yes.
No, it's not God forbid. They're gonna die. All right?
Mish.
And what you're gonna like, if you let this one crazy opportunity go, you know, and it really impacts you for the rest of your life, and your parents are in their grave, like, and you're the one who's living that life. You're the one who's living that long life.
I'm not going to marry somebody I don't want to marry. I also have the free will.
You do have the free will.
So it's like, if this person doesn't satisfy me, why am I going to be with them?
It's not just dating, but like, would something that you really truly want to do stop you just because you don't want to disappoint your parents, even though it might benefit you for the rest of your life?
To be honest, that's what I'm starting to, like, trying to navigate in therapy. And I think also going to the very beginning of this talk, when you were like, why is therapy such a taboo thing? I think it's such a threat to our parents.
Yeah.
It is, dude.
It is a threat because they feel that you're changing in ways that they don't even know how to understand. And it's like, you're being a completely person than the person that I know. And it's like, okay, so I'm not allowed to change. And it's like, no, you change, but something that we're comfortable with.
Dude, I think when my dad and I have like arguments about something, and I start to give him information that he didn't know,
it pisses them off.
And then it pisses him off, and he actually.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes I think he actually feels threatened.
Yes.
Like mentally threatened.
Yeah.
So, and I've seen this before with my dad once. Like, one time I was like, you know what? We like this American Abuna, and I'm like, okay, cool. You love this American Abuna? I'm gonna go tell him. And when he heard that particular Abuna's name, he knows that he's gonna lose against that Abuna. He's okay. No, don't. Just do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. So. Yeah, it's like that threat of like, it's that threat of knowledge. It's crazy to them.
Even parents like that are super controlling. It's like the second that they feel that like you're not giving them the ability to control you anymore, they lose their mind. And it's like, how can you be your own individual person? You are under my house, you're under my rules, you obey by everything I tell you. And it's like, so then when am I gonna be an adult? When am I gonna be able to figure it out?
You get married.
And that's the thing. That also goes back to this double standard of like my aunt like telling me at a very young age, like, don't just get married just to escape your parents. Because I feel like a lot of the older generations of very traditional parents just have this way of controlling their kids, and their kids fall in this trap of like, that's all I know, that's all I understand, that's all I know in this world. And then you get exposed to Western society and it's like, okay, maybe this isn't the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then it just shakes your entire world that you thought was normal, and then you realize it's not normal.
I think like I had it easier because like you're saying you're like trying to like hard like to tune yourself to like navigate that and to move away from it.
It's stressful,
but I grew up differently. I just kind of saw the grass being greener on the other side. I'm like, I'm gonna jump the fence and get on that lawn. And that's what I did. I just, The thing is like, if I was to go that route, I'm the rebellious one. Yeah. Like, I'm the threat. Like, how are you going against the status quo? But that's, again, like, if you really need to do it for your mental happiness. Meshi, fahma, I got that. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a lot easier said than done. Like, I'm telling you, like, this stuff takes a toll on me. That it probably doesn't do the same thing for you guys. No, yeah, I don't care much.
Okay, guys, we're at an hour 40.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go home too.
It didn't feel like an hour 40.
Huh?
It didn't feel like an hour 40.
How long did it feel like?
I don't know, but like every 30 minutes, I usually go use the bathroom. Or like
you
45
did
minutes.
So well.
I know. This is insane.
Are you shaking because you need to pee?
I've only drank 1 cup of water too.
Are you shaking because you need to go?
I do. I want to go soon.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to Stay Humble Podcast, episode 8, and we'll see you next week. Stay humble.
Stay humble.